And let's bring in Troy Deeney, who is at the Amex waiting for kick-off in about 5 minutes between Brighton and Liverpool. I just want to talk to you about Wolves' equaliser. I was at the Amex on Saturday. Brighton had their break looked like every single player versus Tommy Doyle. And somehow Tommy got the ball and they went up the other end and scored. That's a massive lesson for Hurts, like a massive lesson for a lot of those Brighton players, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about killing the game off and having opportunities to kill that game. Go and take it, because the Premier League's unforgiving, and lesson learned, and hopefully they'll move on. But tonight's a big game, and they'll take lessons from this season into this game, hopefully to get the win over Liverpool.
Well, Talksport 2 tonight for Man United against Leicester here at Old Trafford. That kicks off at 7:45. Build up on Talksport 2 in just a couple of minutes. To get Talksport 2, download the Talksport app for free. Swipe left for Talksport 2 or tell your smart speaker to play Talksport 2. But right now, Talksport's taking you to the South Coast. Winner heads into the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. It's Brighton against Liverpool with your commentary team of former Premier League captain Troy Deeney alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Adrian, thank you, and a very good evening to you. The League Cup's been going for nearly 65 years, yet there are 6 current Premier League clubs who've never made it through to the final. 3 of those 6 could do so this season. One of them, Brighton, who've habitually struggled in the Cups. Since one of the iconic Cup final moments of yesteryear, Smith must score in 1983. Spoiler alert, he didn't. The Seagulls haven't come close to winning a major trophy. But in the historical context of the club, these days in the 2020s are heady ones indeed. They're now in a position to launch a major tilt at silverware. They've got a recent FA Cup semi-final to their name, but in this competition, it's 46 years since they last made it through to even the quarter-finals. A long wait, but could end tonight. Well, since Brighton last reached the last 8, Liverpool have played in 13 League Cup finals and won 10 of them. Current holders have a better record than anyone else in this competition, and after only 1 defeat under Arne Slot, are eyeing up a chance to extend that supremacy. Well, Brighton have 7 players injured and 1 cup tied. They make 8 changes, and yet they still bring 6 internationals into the team. That's strength and depth that is unparalleled in the club's history. It's Steele in goal, Lamptey, Van Hecke, Igor and Kaliolu, Modder and Vifa, Gruder and Ciso and Adingra, with Ferguson up front. And 6 of the 8 Liverpool players coming in are also internationals. In fact, 5 of this team were in the starting 11 for the final against Chelsea last season. Jarosz in goal for his full debut. Bradley, Gomez, Kwanzaa and Robertson. Endo and Morton, who last started a game for Liverpool back in January 22. Jones, Szoboszlai and Diaz. And Cody Gakpo up front. Jason Steele, the Brighton captain, in the centre circle along with his Liverpool counterpart Andy Robertson. Some night this, Troy, they might have made 16 changes between them, but there's still a feeling and an atmosphere that suggests this matters.
Yeah, it's a proper team. I think that just shows the depth of what Brighton have been able to do. We expect it from the top, from Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City. We expect those teams to be able to field a second team that is of quality that Liverpool are doing. But for Brighton to do it, that just shows the growth of the Premier League and growth of this wonderful club as well. So full house here tonight, an expectant crowd, and I'm really, really looking forward to it.
It is the first of 2 matches between these two this week. Points on the line on Saturday, progression on the line tonight. Liverpool lost an FA Cup tie here a couple of years ago. A repeat tonight would see them eliminated, and Brighton in the last 8 for the first time in 46 years. Liverpool in all red, Brighton in their familiar blue and white stripes. And it will be Liverpool that will get the game underway. They kick it from right to left in this first half. Referee Darren Bond, who's never officiated Liverpool before, given the signal to get the game underway. 7:30 kickoff tonight, and it's one of 3 live games on the Talksport network. Now don't forget, coming up after this, the conclusion of Spurs against Manchester City. We should pick it up if there are no penalties here for the entirety of the second half. Live over on Talksport 2. Build-up continues ahead of Manchester United-Leicester, which is a 7:45 kickoff. Here's Tariq Lamptey bringing the ball forward, and has done really well to get away from Gakpo, and then Morton plays the ball down the right flank for Gruder, given his first Brighton start tonight after his big money move from Mainz in his native Germany. Gomez there to knock it away. Endo can't bring it forward. All a little bit scrappy in the midfield at the moment, and Brighton do well to win it back.
Yeah, just looking at how Brighton have already set up. Incenso is already inside, playing as a centre midfielder. I expected him to play on the wing, which he normally does, but he's kind of playing as a 10 just off the 8 when they've got the ball. And then interestingly for Liverpool, no striker. We've got Gakpo out here on the left, Diaz out on the right, then a box 4 midfield of Jones, Endo, Szoboszlai and Morton as well. So really interesting setup, a really interesting dynamic for what both teams are trying to do tactically.
So effectively, Szoboszlai is going to be playing as the false 9, if there is one. He's the furthest forward of those in that midfield box. Liverpool in possession at the back with Gomez, finding Jaros, who nervously plays his way out of the penalty area. This is the first Liverpool start tonight. He is, though, an international. He's played a couple of League Cup ties before and kept a clean sheet in both of them back in a loan spell at Stockport. Now Liverpool can bring it forward up the right flank. It's a good ball towards Conor Bradley, chipping it in towards the edge of the penalty area. Just sails over Robertson's head. They come back outside the penalty area for Cody Gakpo, who's got such a good record in this competition. 6 goals in his 7 League Cup ties since signing for Liverpool. Back from him to Tyler Morton. Now to Quansah. Quansah, who hasn't seen too much first-team action this season, driving it forward for Northern Ireland's new captain, Conor Bradley, and he's done well to skip around a couple of challenges. Couldn't get himself into a position to get a cross in. Calliolo with a block, and it goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Liverpool right-hand side. 0-0 with a couple gone.
You can already see the way that Brighton are going to have to really struggle in this midfield with the way that Liverpool are building up. With that 4 in the middle, they're letting the left wing back come right the way inside to try and close it off. But what that then does is leave Bradley open or the full-back open, and Liverpool are in on there. Unluckily for Bradley, with a lovely stand up to the back post for somebody to come in on the end of it. But the way that this game's going to be run now will be that midfield battle, because Liverpool are overloaded already. And you can see where Brighton are having to tweak already. The manager's out there already tweaking a few things for the press. It's going to be really interesting to watch moving forward.
Ball is out of play for a throw, which will be taken over on the far touchline by Ferdi Calliolo, who's shown his versatility in his short time at Brighton. Back playing at left back today. He's also played at right back and on the right wing at the weekend. Ball played back for Jason Steele, who's only just able to nudge it away from the on-rushing Curtis Jones. Got the ball out to safety for Igor. Back it goes for Steele again. And Steele, in getting it forward, this time took a deflection and just about reached the edge of his own penalty area where Modder could deal with it. Van Hecker eventually clears, and Gomez is there ahead of Ferguson to knock it away. It's in Brighton's DNA, Troy. They're going to play out from the back, but Jason Steele has had a couple of nervy moments inside the opening 4 minutes already.
And I think as well, just for Jason Steele, he's not seeing a centre forward run at him. He's seeing another midfielder, so he's not expecting the double press for when any of the midfielders, Jones or Szoboszlai in this situation, go from the centre half to the goalkeeper. I think he thinks he's got a little bit more time than he has. The worry for me is that this Brighton crowd gets really nervy when he has the ball. That could start to creep in and cause a little bit of an effect on confidence, and hopefully he continues to play.
A very experienced player, Jason Steele, who alternated the first choice duties last season with Bart Verbruggen, but very much number 2 now. And it's catching down the other end. Joe Gomez playing out from the back, and he was very nearly embarrassed by Jakob Modder. But Liverpool smuggled the ball off the island, and via a deflection they've got a throw which Robertson takes. One back by Vifa, play forward by Enciso towards the edge of the penalty area. Vifa couldn't supply him with a return ball. Liverpool get it away. Diaz chasing after it down the far touchline, crowded out by Calliolo, and much to Hurtzler's frustration, a free kick has been given Liverpool's way.
Yeah, soft one there. I think he's done really good defending. He just ran across the line of Diaz. He's realised he can't get there. Yeah, just watching it now. He's got an arm on the shoulder, so that's probably why he's giving it. But both goalkeepers are very, very nervy with the ball. I do like when people play out from the back, but I do think we're starting to encourage it a little bit too much, where we're actually making people look worse than they are. Great ball.
From Robertson to find Cody Gakpo. About 5 yards outside the box. Lamptey had more than a nibble at him. Gakpo rode the challenge. The referee Bond allows play to continue. Szoboszlai's got it on the edge of the penalty area. He's then caught, goes down injured. Play will continue for now with Liverpool in possession. Szoboszlai back on his feet. Ball switched wide out of the Liverpool right, but the flag up against Diaz, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Brighton in their left back position. Quarter-finalists in this competition back in 1979. They were beaten by eventual winners Nottingham Forest. Haven't made it through to the last 8 since. In fact, prior to 2020, they'd only reached this stage, round 4, once in 40 years. This, though, their 4th time at this stage in 5 seasons, albeit that they've lost each of their last 4 round 4 ties. Some bugger they're trying to put to bed tonight. Van Hecker back for his goalkeeper, still put under immediate pressure, turned the wrong way into the centre of his 6-yard box, straight to Soboslai, but he just got it away in time. God, his heart was in his mouth there, could see it. Igor gets it back for Steele. The press from Liverpool really intense whenever the ball goes back to the Brighton goalkeeper.
Well, they've got encouragement now, haven't they?
And now it's given away. Endo trying to get it through towards Gakpo, but the ball was overhit, and again that came with Brighton giving it away.
I'm just watching Arne Slot below us, and he's really impressed with the press, because the way that Brighton are playing out from the back is a bit kamikaze.
Lamptey with a high ball forward, Adingra trying to nod it back down, Endo losing out, and FIFA brings it forward towards the edge of the penalty area, but Endo is on the deck. Just got caught by Enciso, and it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Liverpool.
Yeah, just to finish that point from Arne Slot, he's very impressed, he's really enthusiastic with the press and telling his players to get after it, just because the way that Jason Steele has started this game has really scaring us, never mind the Brighton fans. Every time he's got it 2, 3, 4 touches, needs to get 1 or 2 out of his feet really quickly, but it's encouraging Liverpool to do it, and every time they've been half a second away from scoring a goal.
Now, Steele has reached the quarterfinals of this competition before, back in his Middlesbrough days, but there hasn't been too much success within these Brighton players in this competition. They've got Danny Welbeck on the bench, who has won it back in the days when he was a teenager. Liverpool with plenty of experience of winning this trophy. The likes of Conor Bradley recalled to the side tonight, the 21-year-old right-back in the starting lineup when they beat Chelsea in the final, thanks to Virgil van Dijk's goal in extra time, late in extra time, back in February. Eagles got the ball at the back for the Seagulls, and he can play it forward out towards Kaliolu, who gets past the first challenge in midfield, that of Diaz, now works it out towards Simon Adingra, who come in off the left-hand side. Good strong challenge, can steer it away from Endo. Diaz then wins it back. Bradley forced to retrace his steps, goes back inside his own penalty area. Kwanzaa to Yarosh, and a roar of expectation went up from the Brighton fans when the Liverpool goalkeeper had the ball at his feet. He got it away to halfway, but Brighton can pick it up and will turn it forward again with Mats Vifa. We're 8 minutes in, Troy Deeney, still 0-0.
Yeah, it's excellent just watching both managers here. You've got the Brighton manager here who's asking for calm and for patience, and you've got the Liverpool manager who's screaming, go, get after it, press, try to go for intensity. And everyone told me before, when Arne Slot took over, that apparently Klopp was the only one who was getting after it. He's going to be more controlled than after it. I've just watched Joe Gomez hit a big dive. He tried to hit Diaz, he misses him, goes out for a throw-in, and Arne Slot just ripped him a new one and said, just keep the ball, keep it on the deck, stop forcing it. Be still really interested to see him develop this with Joe Gomez, who hasn't played a lot, but also now needs to start cementing his place as a player or look to move on from Liverpool for his career.
Now, Morton trying to squeeze a ball through for a run on the edge of the penalty area from Bradley, who covered a lot of ground to get there. Jones will pick it up. Lamptey's touch got it to relative safety for Brighton, and FIFA will do the rest. Here is Gomez again. As you mentioned, 12 minutes of Premier League action this season. He's seen 30 minutes in the Champions League. His only start was in this competition. Liverpool thumping West Ham in the last round to get this far. Brighton have played a couple of ties in this competition, beating Wolves 3-2 last time out. But as you say, Gomez not really had too many minutes on the pitch this season.
And to be fair to him, he has had injury problems as well, to give him, the benefit of the doubt. So it'll be a real moment in Joe's career where he should, look at what he wants to do and how can he improve, not only for himself in terms of playing time, but also for his England chances if he still feels that he has those.
Endo gets the ball, now plays it through the midfield for Tyler Morton. Andy Robertson looking up, seeing that there are no real options that he fancied, so he's just rolled it square for Gomez. Every Liverpool outfield player in Brighton territory, but Hertzler still trying to wave his side forward to keep this high line. It's a ball over the top that speared it, but Gakpo is offside. Well, this is the Brighton tactic that at times has been costly, particularly in that game against Chelsea recently, where they play so high, just try and condense the play to win possession back to hit on the counter. But in doing so, Liverpool have probably only got to get it right once.
Absolutely, and just watching that back on the replay, the one thing for Liverpool, and I'm sure Brighton won't be happy with. Gruder, the right winger, has followed and tracked the run of Gakpo, but he's 5-6 yards behind the rest of the line, so that's something to look out for as well, because the rest of that Brighton line, well drilled, well organised, up at the free to play, but he played everyone on side, and thankfully Gakpo just went a second too early for Brighton.
It's still 0-0 here on the south coast between Brighton and Liverpool. It's almost an unseasonably warm night, really. I'm not seeing too much sun down here in Sussex today, but certainly not coat weather as yet. Well, maybe. Igor back towards the edge of his own penalty area, finds Van Hecker. Van Hecker to Vifa, forward again for Gruder, who can take the ball on the turn. Waits for Lamptey to make a run on the overlap ahead of him. Turns it back through the midfield instead for Vifa, and now Igor will bring it forward. Wide from him out to the Brighton left-hand side. Brought under control by Simon Adingra. Back to Igor, to Vifa, to Van Hecker. And when the ball goes through Van Hecker, that's when Szoboszlai...
That's the trigger, isn't it?
Starts the press, yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see that once they break the press... Oh, he's in.
Ball played over the top. Threaded in towards Lamptey. Left-footed shot. Good save by Jarosz. Came out. Stayed big. It hit his left shoulder, but it's good goalkeeping by Jarosz. Liverpool work it forward quickly after the best chance of the game at the other end. Gakpo now on the edge of the box. Right-footed effort from him. And Steele dived to his left. Probably had it covered anyway. Went past the post by a couple of yards. Much better from Brighton. Good ball over the top. Getting Adingra in. Setting up Tariq Lamptey, but he couldn't get it past Jarosz.
Yeah, it's a battle of the high lines again. And if you just look here on the replay, Andy Robertson playing everybody on side there for Brighton, but the ball played across the edge of the 18-yard box into probably the one person you wouldn't want it to be, Tariq Lamptey, who is not known for his goal scoring prowess. So for it to go across to him, 18 yards out, man on his back, and the keeper coming out to him, hits it straight at the goalie. And then on the other end, Cody Gakpo, that's what we want to see. Decisive play, coming in off the left-hand side, getting onto his right foot. Shot with a lot of power, just couldn't get the aim and the direction that he would want, but much better. Both teams play really high lines, but once they get through the press here now, it ends up being a drop off, and that high line still stays. So a little chip ball from both teams has got them in on both occasions.
Yeah, Lamptey's only scored a couple of goals for Brighton in 106 games, including tonight. One of them at Arsenal in the League Cup tie a couple of years ago. Ball knocked away from the Brighton runners, this time by the backtracking Bradley. Now Enciso with an opportunity to run forward, and he's continued his run, having found the Adingra. Back from him to Keriolu. Modder. Adingra again. He's playing it back into the heart of the midfield for Vifa. Van Hecker down towards Tariq Lamptey. Lamptey over on the right-hand side, controlling the ball in his orange boots. Back from him to Van Hecker. Van Hecker to his left for Igor, and still Brighton passing the ball around relatively comfortably inside their own half. A bit more intensity in the Liverpool press latterly, and then Brighton work it forward, finding Evan Ferguson. Ferguson out towards Adingra. Adingra with good control, setting it up for Enciso on the edge of the penalty area, but his left-footed shot sails high over Jarosz's bar, and out of play for a goal kick. 14 minutes gone in this League Cup fourth round tie. Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. Troy Deeney.
Much better play from Brighton. You see Evan Ferguson giving the ball out wide, getting around, more fluidity, more movement. Unfortunately, the strike from Enciso, high, wide and ugly, but the play's better. It's moving Liverpool around, and it's making Liverpool have to think, because I think just before that first 10-15 minutes was a very, what we expect, very Brighton. You know it's going to come down the right-hand side, work its way back round, go to the left-hand side and try and move it once or twice. This time, more fluidity, more freedom, and that's where they get their joy.
Vifa can take the ball on the turn. It was a latest challenge coming in on him. Play's allowed to go on after Morton's tackle. Lamptey plays it in straight into the hands of Jarosz, who races to the edge of his penalty area to catch it. Liverpool so far this season, 11 wins in 13 games in all competitions. They won 8 of the last 9, beaten only once, going back into the Klopp reign in their last 17 games. The last time they lost away from home was the Merseyside derby back in April. There's a really good run that they've had under Arne Slot, who has just settled in so easily, and he's been at pains to talk about the relative ease of the fixture list at the beginning of the season, but I think that's been done to dampen expectation as much as anything else. He'll be delighted with the way things have gone so far.
Absolutely. It's one of the few jobs you inherit a really good team with confidence, with expectation, and I think he's handled the situation excellently.
Here's Kalioğlu driving forward. The Turkish international down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Adingra coming away from Bradley's challenge, couldn't set up, and Ciso has ended up on the deck. Adingra, and it was Bradley with that good defending that Troy touched on, knocks it out of play for a goal kick that will be taken away to our right-hand side by Jarosz. So the game's just about kicking off. Let me point your way to the Talksport app, where if you've got it, you can keep abreast of everything going on with Ruud van Nistelrooy's Manchester United. They're at home to Leicester. That game's just underway. Newcastle against Chelsea, Preston against Arsenal. We'll have the news of all the big moments as they happen here on Talksport. If you've got the app, you can seamlessly swipe between that Manchester United game and this game here, which is 17 minutes old at 0-0. Brighton with the one clear-cut opportunity so far. Jarosz saving from Lamptey. Gruda leaving it for Modder. Just tries to flick the ball down the line for him. Brighton appealing the ball had gone out of play for a corner. It hadn't gone out, which was why play was allowed to continue. It probably would have been a corner. Robertson kept it in. Endo then does well, stabs it through the midfield. Morton opens up his body to find a pass. Jones gets it forward for Szoboszlai. All of a sudden it's 3 against 3, and Liverpool bringing forward Cody Gakpo, left-hand side of the penalty area, clipping it across the edge of the 6-yard box, but too far ahead of Bradley, who will be able to pick it up on that far touchline. Dingra's done well, slides in, wins it back. Got it to temporary safety, but Luis Diaz has it, and Liverpool will be able to come again.
Yeah, great play there from Liverpool, right down in their left-hand corner. Loads of one-touch play, really inviting Brighton to press, feeling that they're going to get it, a lot of risk and reward. Once they play out the pressure, goes into Curtis Jones. First touch, round the corner, gets Szoboszlai running at that back four. That's where you talk about that 3v3. Really impressed with Cody Gakpo. Every time he's got the ball tonight, he's made a decisive decision to go, I'm going to create something, whether that be a cross that we've just seen where he just misses Diaz, or he's getting his shot off. That's what you want to see from your wide players. And without Mohamed Salah playing, that's what Liverpool miss. When Mohamed Salah plays, you know he's going to get his shots off and he's going to get at your goal.
Salah amongst those on the bench tonight, and Jota injured, of course. So Gakpo will feel that plays well tonight. He might be able to get his place back in the starting lineup in the Premier League. He could get the nod ahead of Darwin Núñez, but when these two meet in a 3 o'clock game on Saturday in the Premier League at Anfield, Brighton after that have then got Manchester City here. So it's a big 10 days coming up when you factor in this cup tie as well, which is still 0-0. Joe Gomez in possession.
He's not happy, Arne Slot, with where his two holding centre midfielders are in Endo and Morton. He's encouraging them to get higher and be a bit braver between the lines, because Morton, as we speak now, is in line with the back three, as is Endo now. So we've got 5 players behind the ball, which obviously he doesn't want, because now you can't penetrate, you can't break Brighton down because they've got a whole 11 behind the ball.
Morton's ball out towards Cody Gakpo. Brighton fans finding their voice. Gakpo clipping it to the edge of the penalty area. Igor Julio, and then Adingra can knock it away. Morton's going to be able to pick it back up though for Liverpool. 20 outside the penalty area. Diaz rolling it down the line. Bradley stuck the brakes on to stay onside. He managed it. So Liverpool have still got possession. Now Brighton hemmed in, still keeping a high line 2-3 yards outside the penalty area. And all 10 outfield players for a moment there were within 10 yards of each other laterally, or vertically should I say. Diaz coming back through the midfield. Hertzler turns away and murmurs something to his dissatisfaction. Ball comes down towards Cody Gakpo. Couldn't find a way past Lamptey, who just stood firm against a much taller opponent. And Gruda gets possession back, and he can bring it away for Brighton down their right-hand side. And Ciso inside the centre circle, just trying to lay the ball back for Vifo. So no chance of being able to get to that first. Endo's got it. And the Liverpool fans respond to those choruses from the Brighton faithful in kind. Curtis Jones back for Robertson. Tyler Morton making his 11th appearance for Liverpool today. Out on the far touchline, Kranjcar has been able to knock it forward towards Diaz. Back for Jones in the heart of the midfield. Endo laying it off. Comes down towards Robertson now. 5 outside the box, curving it in, a left-footed away swing. Kaliolu tracking the runner. Bradley every step of the way could come back and head it away. Diaz. Quansah then, bypassing Gomez to bring Robertson into it. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Gakpo's got it, trying to find a way past Gruder. It was an unorthodox piece of defending. He sort of threw himself to the ground there, Gruder, but got back on his feet with the ball under control. And then as he comes back, he has won a free kick after being fouled by Szoboszlai. 21 gone here on Talksport, and it's 0-0.
Defensively for Brighton, that's excellent. They're all sat in, as you said, 10 yards between the back four and Evan Ferguson, who's the main striker alone up top. Just waiting. Say to Liverpool, if you're going to break us down, you've got to go round us and then put balls into the box. But without Nunes, they don't have anyone who's a natural header of the ball. And also then they're encouraging people to shoot. And as you saw earlier on there, Andy Robertson crossing it from 30-40 yards to one person at the back post. So it's giving Brighton so much enthusiasm to defend, because they know when it's all said and done, Liverpool are going to have to start shooting from 30-40 yards to score. And if they do, you're quite happy with that as a coach, saying there's not much you can do. It's a great goal.
Ball at the feet of Jason Steele. Not spooked by what happened in the first 3 or 4 minutes, where he twice came very close to giving the ball away. He just nonchalantly plays out, waits for the press to arrive, and then wants to drive the ball forward. And Liverpool have got it back though with Robertson midway inside his own half. Back from him to Joe Gomez, to Jarell Quansah, who started the third round win against West Ham but hasn't played since, before his recall tonight. Now Gomez can bring it forward at the midway stage of the first half here on Talksport, and just the one real clear-cut opportunity for either side, which Tariq Lamptey missed for Brighton. Well saved by Jarosz, who's in for his full Liverpool debut. Ball over on the right flank, still 0-0 everywhere in the games in Scotland tonight, including the big one, Aberdeen against Rangers, which kicks off at 8. We'll keep an eye on that. Celtic already underway. Now the 7:45 kickoffs in the League Cup are all 0-0 as well. We'll be around the grounds in a couple of minutes' time. Quansah playing the ball out to Endo. Now Conor Bradley's got it level with the edge of the penalty area, drags it back, and there's a real patience about Liverpool's build-up play at the moment. Ferguson comes in and keeps Gomez honest, putting a challenge in. He easily finds Bradley, and he can divert the ball forward now for Jones. Jones turning in the midfield, 20 outside the penalty area. Back from him to Szoboszlai. He'll retreat. So when they look up, Liverpool with plenty of bodies down the inside channels and out on the flanks as well, but no one through the middle for a moment. Curtis Jones takes up that role right now. It's sort of split false nines for Liverpool the way they're playing tonight. And Jones and Szoboszlai has got the ball in a deeper position now. Work through the midfield towards Bradley. Liverpool get it and will go deeper and deeper, and looks as though Quansah was being put under unfair pressure there. And in fact, the decision has gone against Ferdi Kaliolu. First goal of the night is at Villa Park. Here's Jeff Peters.
It's Aston Villa 0, Crystal Palace 1. Eberechi Eze with the goal. He was on the penalty spot. The ball came in from the right. Brilliant cross from Munoz, and Eze's header into the bottom corner. Terrific finish. Villa 0, Palace 1.
Thank you, Jeff. Liverpool winning it back again cheaply after Brighton have an error, playing out from the back. Gakpo getting it forward. Out he goes towards Szoboszlai on the left-hand side of the Liverpool midfield. Now there are 4 in the penalty area. Robertson driving a high ball in. It's good defending, just easing Curtis Jones under the flight of the ball, and Adingra should be able to do the rest, clearing up the left-hand touchline. And then Quansah will put it out. Mentioned earlier that there are 3 teams still in the competition from the Premier League who've never made it through to the final of this League Cup. Palace are one of those, Brighton another. Palace who've reached the semis 4 times and lost on every occasion. Last time they made it through to the last 4, some 13 seasons ago, but they're leading at Villa tonight. First goal of the night, Villa 0, Palace 1. Eberechi Eze's 3rd goal of the season for Glasner's side, who've only won 1 game out of 9 against Premier League opposition so far this season. Not missing anything here. Brighton's got a player down, injured inside their own penalty area. Is it Kaliolu, I think, is the man that is down. That gives us a chance to go round the grounds. First to Old Trafford, Adrian Durham.
Man United 0, Leicester 0. Xerxes was through after a slip at the back for Leicester, but he couldn't find the right pass, far too casual. So that chance went a begging. Jordan Ayew's had an effort for Leicester on target, but straight at the keeper, Bayandir, in the United goal. So it's Man United 0, Leicester 0.
Anderson, James's Park, Steve Harmison.
Newcastle 0, Chelsea 0. 16 changes between these sides. That's not showing the intensity. This game has a frantic pace. Will a good cross. Joe Linton should have scored from 6 yards out, and Viega should have had the target from 8 yards out, but he put his effort just wide. 10 gone, 0-0 between Newcastle and Chelsea.
And to Deepdale, Preston have never got beyond this stage of the League Cup. How are they facing up early on against Arsenal? Adam Bridge.
Preston 0, Arsenal 0 in the 12th minute of this game, and this strong Arsenal side dominating possession without yet troubling the goal away to our right-hand side where Freddie Woodman is for this Preston North End side. They've hardly touched the ball in these opening exchanges, but no real chances yet. Preston 0, Arsenal 0.
Thanks, Adam. And all of those games that are already underway in the Scottish Premiership, all 0-0 as well, including leaders Celtic at home to Dundee. Those two already this season have scored 79 goals between them. We're still in October. Dundee United, Motherwell, Hearts, Kilmarnock, Ross County, Hibs, St Mirren, St Johnstone. The other games in the Scottish Premiership tonight, Aberdeen Rangers kicks off at 8. We'll keep you abreast of everything that is going on north of the border as well. Carioli's okay. That's quite lengthy treatment. He's made his way off towards the far side. It's always a good sign that he hasn't come down to this near touchline where the benches are. So it looks as though he's going to be able to continue. 27 minutes gone here. Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. Is the happier of the two managers at the moment, Troy?
I would say Brighton manager, just about. Just because I think defensively they've sat into that shape as we've spoken about, frustrated Liverpool trying to go around them and then giving the ball away cheaply. But I don't think neither manager will be happy from an attacking point of view. But from a build-up play point of view and in control of the game, with the ball, Brighton will be happy. Without the ball, Liverpool will be very happy.
Now Liverpool there with a great press. 4 of them going in on Vifa, who decided he was going to turn on the edge of his own penalty area. He was hugely relieved to hear the referee's whistle there.
Yeah, but they're setting it really well, and there was just some of the imagery we could see here. Arne Slot sat down with his team, and they've got the tactics board up, and they're just trying to tweak the press to get this Brighton team, like they did in the first 5-6 minutes, a bit more under pressure, a bit more nervy, because now Brighton have settled into the game, and they want this. They want you dropping balls into Evan Ferguson, but making it a difficult ball, a bit more pressure on it, so it goes out, and then Liverpool regain the ball back.
And they got it with Robertson. Ball is worked through the midfield towards Tyler Morton. Back towards Gomez, out to the Liverpool right-hand side for Kwanzaa. Nearly half an hour in. You're with Talksport, and a very good afternoon to you right across North America as well. Our listeners in the United States and Canada on our partner station, Sirius XM FC 157. 0-0 the score. Caliolu back for Igor Julio. Now Van Hecker and Brighton keeping the centre-half partnership from the weekend tonight. Ball forward towards Tariq Lamptey, who will control it, level the edge of the Liverpool box, and then turn, taking on Gomez. Gets outside and ball in deflected away from Ferguson. Liverpool will be able to bring it away, and Arne Slot applauding as Diaz makes his way forward. Vifa did well to win it back. And Brighton will be able to come again with Enciso, who fires one in from distance. 35 yards out. It was a really good hit, and it dipped, and Yaros all of a sudden, from thinking he was comfortable, was nervously looking over his shoulder, and he was very grateful to see that one just clear his bar.
It's a great strike. Cut in again, 35 yards out from the left onto his right. And just watching the replay back now, Yaros, he's actually taken a step thinking he's going to hit the ball from the left-hand side to the far right-hand corner, but he's actually reversed it, and it just dipped just over the bar. But Yaros would have looked very, very stupid if that would have gone in.
Our first goal of the night in Scotland, scored by the informed Benji Kimpioka. 10th of the season for St Johnstone, who lead at St Mirren by a goal to nil. Deadlock broken as well at Old Trafford. Adrian Durham.
Man United 1, Leicester 0. What a goal. Casemiro's licked the stamp. He's put it in the top corner from outside the box. It's an absolute worldy joy to be here to witness that. Man United 1, Leicester 0.
Casemiro's second of the season for United. Just one win in their last 8 games. Somewhere Eric Ten Hag will just have been told, Casemiro's pinged the one into the top right-hand corner from outside the box. That might have drawn a wry smile, but it might not. Lamptey with a throw across the edge of the penalty area for Brighton, who've got it and then have lost it. Quansah can clear. High right-footed up and under for Liverpool. Looking for Gakpo. Van Hecker leans over him. Hands on the shoulders of the Dutchman. And heads the ball out of play for a throw that will be taken by Liverpool and work back to Andy Robertson. Are you surprised that it's been... He's not cagey with a capital C, Troy, but very few clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. Are you surprised at that?
I am. Just because I think there's good enough quality on the pitch for both teams to actually warrant some pressure on the goalkeeper. The only times we've been a bit nervy is when the keepers have got the ball at their feet, or in this situation the two centre-halves for Liverpool have got it at their feet because they just don't look comfortable. But I can see Arnie start getting rather annoyed just with how slow the ball's being moved. Once they're getting out of the pressure, they need runners, and he's calling for runners. Now you're seeing Diaz come in off the right hand side into the left.
Diaz to Jones, Gakpo, Szoboszlai, Andy Robertson inside the penalty area, pulls it back, Diaz! Well, the second attempt he's headed into the side netting. First one was blocked, looped back up invitingly for him. It's a little off balance and the angle wasn't great. He will be disappointed he didn't at least hit the target and force a save out of Jason Steele.
Yeah, as I was just talking about it, you can see what Liverpool are trying to do. So they've got the box in midfield, they've got the two wide players in Gakpo and Diaz really stretching the width. But I think what Arne Slot's asking for is what you've just seen there, not to stay wide and high, to come in off the line, overload the midfield and rotate. The first time Diaz does that, he gets in, slips the ball down the side. Gakpo again being really direct, gets a cross in. Szoboszlai possibly could score, but the rebound bounces back to Diaz and he heads it just wide. But I'm going to be nicer to him than you was. It's a little bit of a tough one, that.
Oh, they're all easy from here, mate. You're the man with experience knowing how difficult they are and whether they're high tariff or not. The ball's out for a throw, which Lamptey will take. I've never missed one from here.
Have you not?
No. Well, there was
never
one.
Never lost a game either from here.
No, there was one. It was about 25 years ago. Here's Lamptey. And he'll take a throw. It's 0-0. We're 33 minutes in here on Talksport between Brighton and Hove Albion and Liverpool in an intriguing, entertaining but largely chanceless game so far. Vifa has got the ball. He turns it back for Jason Steele. Now, Liverpool haven't had a great record against Brighton in the relatively recent past. Their only successes in the last 4 seasons were a 2-0 win here in 2022 when Diaz and Salah scored, and then a 2-1 victory in Anfield last season. You might remember Brighton beat Liverpool twice in 15 days a couple of seasons ago, having only beaten them once in the previous 37 years. Mitoma with a stoppage time winner that knocked the Reds out of that season's FA Cup. The meetings between these two in this competition few and far between as well. Here's Ferguson towards the edge of the penalty area. The ball brought down by Gruder. Morton just had a little pull of the shirt. The referee says play on. Brighton work it with Enciso out towards Adingra. Can he work the angle and get a shot in on his right foot? No, not quite. Gruder back outside the penalty area. Brighton just going backwards at the moment. Vifa can get the ball between the lines. Adingra. 3 Liverpool players converge on it to block it. And then Endo is caught on the edge of his own box. And it's a free kick which will be taken by Liverpool. 10 to go to half-time. 0-0.
Fabian Hurza will be really disappointed that they're not getting shots off. They're breaking away. They're getting into some really nice areas. And when it's on, just to get that shot off, just to make Liverpool think about something, they're trying to... Adingra in real great positions, really in particular, is one of them players that keeps running across. You're like, shoot now, shoot again. Never shoots. Ends up being given a foul away. But if they just got a shot off, it'll make the Liverpool players have to think about something. Maybe they dive in, maybe they back off a little bit. But if you try to score the perfect goal all the time, you'll never score.
Gomez has just pinged a long ball out towards the far touchline for Diaz. It's come off him, and Kadiolu will just let it run out of play for a throw which will be taken over on the far touchline for Brighton. Launched forward towards Enciso, nodded away by Quansah, and out of play for another throw. Let's go back to Villa Park. Villa against Palace. Jeff Peters.
Palace leading by a goal to 0, scored by Eberechi Eze, but he has limped off. He went down with no players around him, possibly a hamstring injury. He was holding the back of his leg. Dai Kamada has come on to replace him, so that is a blow, but Palace are leading Villa 1-0.
So Palace leading, Manchester United leading Leicester 1-0. Everything else is 0-0 in Scotland, just the one goal. St Johnstone ahead of St Mirren, who've had a torrid run of form recently. Here's Lamptey making his way forward. To his right-hand side is Gruder. He's worked it back the other way through the midfield. And Ciso that little bit deeper. It's a really good sliding challenge on him by Curtis Jones. I thought he played the ball. Referee Darren Bond has given the free kick Brighton's way, and he's indicating with a movement of the right hand that he just felt as though Jones maybe was out of control and swept the legs of his opponent away. And it's a free kick to Liverpool, to Brighton.
It's a great tackle. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, well timed, swept around him, done nothing. I think he's really unlucky there, Curtis Jones. But again, that's another example of Brighton. They break the press, they get out on this right-hand side, then they slow it down again, allow Liverpool to get back. They had 5v5 there. They've got to go forward a bit more intensity. I'm seeing Fabian Herzler getting very annoyed, very frustrated, because he knows there's an opportunity here to go and win this game. And Liverpool are not there for the taking, but they're giving you opportunities to go and create something, because you know in this second half, Salah's coming on. They can add some experience with Virgil van Dijk. So you've got to take your chances now, and he's getting a bit animated in front of us as he now sits down and probably saying some nice words in German.
Liverpool have lined up a two-man wall. Who's it going to be? Gruder looking the favourite. He's just clipped it in, left-footed, headed out from Adingra. Flags up though. Well dealt with by Jarosz. Came out, punched it away, and to safety, albeit in a central position. And everybody expected a long-range shot there until the ball just flighted forward. And the call, as always, from Darren Cann, absolutely spot on. The assistant referee sticking his flag up, and it's a free kick which Liverpool have taken on the edge of their own penalty area with Szoboszlai. 37 gone, it's 0-0. Endo, he's put under pressure, and Prostrick throwing himself down to basically block the ball and buy the free kick. Gruder then tried to do likewise to stop Endo taking the free kick quickly. He's saying that he's got the ball between his feet at the moment. And
he just got an old-fashioned, we've got an old-fashioned stamp on the hand for putting his hand in the way to try and block it from being a quick one. So kind of deserves it. Sorry to interrupt you.
The old pros tricks, you see. Have you ever done that?
Never. I would never do such a thing.
That's what I thought. Kwanzaa. But you know a man who does. Gomez down towards Robertson. Robertson on the edge of his own box. 38 gone, it's 0-0. It's played out by Jarosz, out of the right-hand side. A little bit more space now for Liverpool, who can bring it forward. Goal at St James's Park, Harmy.
1, Chelsea 0. Alexander Isak with a finish from 8 yards out. Hesitation at the back for Chelsea. Fell to Isak. Comfortably rolled it past the keeper. Newcastle 1, Chelsea 0.
And Robertson bringing the ball forward down the Liverpool left-hand side of the penalty area. Has kicked it in towards the near post. And it's just diverted away for a corner by Jason Steele. Quick news of a goal at Deepdale, Adam Bridge.
Arsenal 1. Gabriel Jesus with his first goal since January for Arsenal. It's a volley close in after a knockdown from Kivior after Martinelli's free kick. Preston 0, Arsenal 1.
Liverpool with a corner. It's the first of the game. It's going to be taken on the left flank. Villa have equalised there in a moment. In comes the corner, very deep towards the far post. That one headed away by Vifa. And out of play for another Liverpool corner on the far side. Who got that Villa equaliser, Jeff?
It was scored by John Duran. He comes off the bench and scores. He starts games and he scores, arrowed into the bottom corner. Turner, the keeper, fumbled it in. 8th goal of the season. Villa 1, Palace 1.
So Villa 1, Palace 1. Man United 1, Leicester 0, live on Talksport 2. Newcastle 1, Chelsea 0. Arsenal leading at Preston 1-0. And this one still goalless with 6 to go to half-time. Another Liverpool corner, their second. This is going to be an in-swinging delivery from Robertson this time. Much, much deeper. And headed away by Vifa at the back post again. Good defensive play by the Dutchman. And it's gone out for a throw right down by the corner flag. But the right side of the flag as far as Brighton are concerned. A throw which Szoboszlai is going to come across to take. Taking it back down towards Tyler Morton. Morton midway inside the Brighton half. Goes back towards halfway. Kwanzaa to Endo. An experienced Japanese international in the heart of the Liverpool midfield. Back for Tyler Morton again. Down towards Szoboszlai. Running towards the edge of the penalty area. He checks, turns, lays it back behind square. Endo flights it forward. Bradley trying to take it into his stride. Controlled it, dropped the shoulder, and then it just sort of bobbled off his right foot. And goes out of play for a goal kick. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half at 0-0.
I think The left back for Brighton is indicating that he's in a bit of trouble. Sorry, just
Kaliolu,
yeah, just caught him at the corner of the eye there. They sent out the lads to warm up, but yeah, I just think, just talking on Endo there, he's in this position at the moment where he looks like he hasn't played for a while, which is obvious. But he's playing everything just a little bit too safe for me. Like, he's taking an extra touch just to set himself, and he's getting caught on the ball a little bit. If he wants to get into this Liverpool team, he's got to kind of hit the ground running as if he's been playing week in, week out, because Arne Slot and the team are not going to wait for him.
Ball played by Liverpool by Kwanzaa, chipped towards the edge of the penalty area, and there's Kaliolu to knock it away. Another goal at St James's. Steve Harmison.
Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0, and everybody's celebrating with Joe Willock, but I think it's an own goal. Well worked free kick, wide to Isaac. His cross found Willock. He heads it, a little bit of melee at the back, and I think it was off Tosin, who's gone into the net, but Newcastle won't mind. It's Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0.
So 2-0 to Newcastle as they look to overturn the defeat that they had against Chelsea at the weekend, where Chelsea, much the better side, very good value for the 2-1 win, but 2-0 down today. And Newcastle only 1 goal in 3 coming into tonight, but scored twice in the space of about 3 minutes there. In Scotland, Motherwell lead at Tannadice, away to Dundee United by a goal to 0. Still 0-0 in the Aberdeen game and in the Celtic game as well. 0-0 in this one, 3 minutes to go to half-time. Free kick to be taken by Enciso. It's a really poor one towards the edge of the penalty area. Easily chested down and brought away by Robertson. Another goal at Old Trafford, Adrian.
Man United 2, Leicester 0. Diogo Dalot's been brilliant in this first half. He's been all over the pitch. He was surging down the right-hand side, put the ball across the box. Keeper couldn't come for it. Coming in from the left, Garnacho slams it into the top corner. This one inside the box. Man United 2, Leicester 0.
And it continues live on Talksport 2 for you, with Gruder in possession for Brighton on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. A game that's yet to really find anything to light the touch paper. Will it come from this first Brighton corner?
At the moment, he's coming from turnover after turnover. Sloppy play from both teams. Just looking like two teams that have made a lot of changes, even though we know the quality's there. That football game time, that legs underneath him, he's just missing at the moment.
Well, Liverpool couldn't do anything constructive from the 2 corners that they won recently. Will Brighton be able to find a man here in blue and white inside the penalty area? Van Hecke waiting on the edge of the box. Modder is there with him, and Enciso outside the penalty area. It's fired in very deep, left-footed out towards Adingra, shaped to shoot with a right-footed volley, and was almost caught in mid-air before Szoboszlai just headed it away from him. And Adingra then with a massive air shot and how to play for a throw, which will be taken over on the Brighton left, still near the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. About a minute to go to half-time. That second Newcastle goal is officially credited as an Axel Disasi own goal. 2-0 Newcastle leading Chelsea. Manchester United 2 up as well, live over on Talksport 2. Don't forget, the end of this game will be straight to Tottenham. Their game at home to Manchester City. We should pick that up if this doesn't go to penalties for the start of the second half, there or thereabouts. The ball's out of play for another Brighton corner. So try and garner a first half advantage late in the piece. I don't think the ball is quite on the quadrant. Referee Darren Bond is going over and having a word with Enciso, who spotted it down. I don't know what's happened over there. He's just going over and having a word with him. And he's now having a look. And he's saying, no, it's not on the quadrant. Any chance you can move it back? So he's done that. And he's kind of overcompensated it. He's just out of pure bloody mindedness stuck it right down in the middle of the quadrant now. Hits it right-footed, really, really deep. Adingra, unmarked to the far post, teases it back over the on-rushing Brighton players and straight out. But he's found so much space there. They've done well to find him, but he couldn't make the most of it.
Yeah, the second time now that they've worked that same corner to the back post, they clearly see a weakness in Liverpool's setup. I think this is the first time I've seen in a long time a Liverpool team that looks physically smaller than the opposition team, without Virgil being in there, without Canate and Nunes. They're just in a situation now where Brighton are physically bigger in the box, and that's what's leaving the opposition players now in Minter alone at the back post, because they're worrying about Evan Ferguson and the like.
Yeah, Ferguson is a real unit. Modder very tall as well, must be 6'3 plus, I would think, in the heart of the midfield. So they've got a fair few aerial targets to try and pick up, and that's before you mention the two centre-halves. Liverpool have got it. We're in a minute of stoppage time at the end of this first period, almost at the end of that. Jarosz plays out from the back down towards Andy Robertson. Robertson looks up. Szoboszlai would have been offside if that got to him, but it's half-time anyway. And it's just a little bit of a slow burner here. There've been the odd isolated chances. A very good early save from Jarosz to deny Tariq Lamptey. And Liverpool have also decent, smart save out of Jason Steele at the near post at the other end. But the second half will be better than the first. Half-time, Brighton 0, Liverpool 0.
Troy Deeney, you sound underwhelmed with that first half. Exactly what tactically is wrong with it?
No, tactically it's really interesting to watch, to be honest with you, Aid. But what it is when it's getting in and around the edge of the box, it needs someone to be brave. The only player on the pitch so far that's been brave is Cody Gakpo, and he's had the ball 2 or 3 times and he's made something happen. But it's getting into the wide area, especially for Brighton, and they're trying to score the perfect goal. They go past one, it should shoot, go past another, and before you know it, they're running back into bodies of players. So just a few more shots, maybe a little deflection, just back off the players, and we should have some fun. But right now, it is very, very boring, my friend.
St Mirren have equalised against St Johnstone. Scott Townsend 1-1. Interesting there. Brighton not getting shots off, I thought was an interesting comment you made during commentary. It's not really something we associate with them. When you've got Evan Ferguson in the side, I mean, he scored a brilliant goal on Saturday against Wolves. Really good finish. His first goal for nearly a year, albeit, but once you've hit the back of the net, surely you've got the taste for more. They should be getting shots off, shouldn't they?
Yeah, but they're actually missing him now. With the way that Liverpool have set up with no real number 9 in a box midfield, the space is in the wide areas, both for Liverpool and for Brighton. And what's happening is going out wide to Minter.
Oh, I've got to stop you there, mate. Sorry, we have a goal back for Leicester City. Slammed in from the corner of the box. It's Bilal El Khanous who's done it. It's a really good finish from him. Races to the corner to the Leicester fans away to our right to salute them. And I'll tell you what, Steve Cooper, he will feel good about that because he thinks Diogo Dalot was offside for United's second goal. He got a booking, he protested that much, and almost instantaneously El Khanous has pulled one back for Leicester. Man United 2, Leicester City 1, and a goal at Deepdale as well. Adam Bridge.
Preston 0, Arsenal 2, and it's the youngster Ethan Nwaneri scored 2 in the last round, and he's hit an absolute beauty from the edge of the penalty area into the top right-hand corner past Freddie Woodman. They've been playing some intricate football. It hadn't come off till now, but it's paid off this time for the Gunners, and they lead here. It's Preston 0, Arsenal 2.
So Villa 1, Palace 1. Here it's Man United 2, Leicester 1. Newcastle lead Chelsea 2-0. Arsenal 2 up at Championship Preston. And in our commentary on Talksport, Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. So you're still waiting for goals, and you were explaining what's happening, why Brighton aren't getting shots off.
Yeah, there's no worries about going for a goal, mate. It must be nice to see one. But what's happening at the moment is, because the middle of the pitch is so congested with the way that Liverpool are not playing with any striker, when it's going wide, they're getting it 1v1. In Minter, he goes past Bradley and you like, shoot. But then he wants it to set perfectly, so then the centre-back comes across. Then he goes past him and he runs back into bodies, and they've just got to get the shots off. And I do feel sorry for Evan Ferguson, because he's at a point now where he's doing his job and staying in the middle of the pitch, but he feels like he has to come deep, get the ball, probably run and get a shot off himself, and he might do at the start of the second half, because nothing's come into him at the moment, and every cross for Brighton has hit the first man. It's not even bounced, it's been that bad.
And I love the fact you've been talking about Herzl and how he's unhappy. He's got certain German words that we don't know on his bench. I just love the fact that he cares about every single game, be it Carabao Cup or Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say as well, Arne Slot has been exactly the same. I must admit, watching both managers has been probably the most enjoyable part of the game so far, because they're both really kicking every ball, but they're both looking at tweaks to how they can get at the opposition. For Liverpool, they're playing a back four, a box four in midfield, a 2 and a 2, and then two wide men. What Arne Slot's getting frustrated with, from what I can see, is that
Troy, just stay there. We've got a goal. I'm sorry, mate. There's none at your game. There's goals elsewhere. We have a goal at Tottenham Hotspur. Who's there for Talksport? Let's find out. Ian Danta.
It's Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester City 0. Timo Werner with a rare goal. It was a break from the right-hand side. Lovely flick from Brennan Johnson, set Dejan Kulusevski away, and an early ball from deep across the penalty area, and Werner ran onto it and tucked it home right-footed. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester City 0.
So Spurs leading Man City 1-0. Spurs have gone strong. They've got the lead. And remember, second half commentary of that is going to be on Talksport. After Brighton against Liverpool. We'll leave Troy to get his half-time cuppa. Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. Manchester United get a third. It's a free kick that's been deflected in, and Bruno Fernandes will take the credit. Probably keeper might have got it had there not been a deflection. He's shaking his head and smiling, Bruno Fernandes. He knows that he's the one behind the free kick. It was fairly central, right on the edge of the D, and he's just had a pot shot at goal. It's taken a deflection off the wall, and in it goes, wrong-footing the keeper, and it's the third goal for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes will get it. Jordan Ayew, I think, is the one who's deflected it in. No, it isn't. It's Justin who's deflected it in with a header and completely wrong-footed the goalkeeper. Man United in control. Only 36 gone. Manchester United 3, Leicester City 1 on Talksport.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
At Morrison's, more card prices save you money on your shop. Buy 6 or more bottles of wine, including champagne. More card price. And save 25%. Pay less with more card.
Morrison's to shop at Morrison's.
Majority of stores and online exclude Scotland and Morrison's Daily More Card or wrap required. Selected 75 centilitre bottles. Max 36 in store, 6 online. Please drink responsibly.
You might be my favourite so far, Martin. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Talksport Drive, tomorrow afternoon from 4 on Talksport with Motorpoint. There's no car like a Motorpoint car.
When it's casino time, it's important to make time for Time Out. To keep your entertainment time a fun time at GrosvenorCasinos.com, we've got a range of responsible gaming tools. You can set your own deposit limits and use reality checks to ensure your playtime doesn't go into overtime, or to make sure a good time at GrosvenorCasinos.com stays that way. Grosvenor Casinos, it's entertainment time. 18+, terms and conditions apply. Gambleaware.org.
Carabao Sport is uniquely formulated to keep you hydrated, whether you're at the gym, running the streets or bossing the midfield. Available in berry or orange flavours, Carabao Sport tastes great and is Informed Sport accredited. For a chance to see your team in this season's Carabao Cup, look for special packs of Carabao Sport in MFG, the largest independent forecourt operator in the UK. Carabao Sport, the perfect assist. UK 18+, see drinkcarabao.co.uk/win tickets to enter by 28th of Feb 25 and for details.
Talksport Bet. If you want to flutter, punters know it's the only place to go. 'Cause you get the form and the latest odds across your sync devices. Plus weekly bet boost prices. Win big jackpots from a classic game of slots. Talksport Bet, the broadcast bonus bookie, keeping you on track with all the sporting stats. Steeple chases, even title races, looking after sports fans. You know, 'cause Talksport Bet is the app that does all that. It's the only place to go.
18+, be gambleaware.org.
Fly with the fry. Chicken is here. The 20 hot wings bucket. 20 succulent hot wings for $7.99. Come under our wings and feel the flavour saviour. Sensation awaits. Believe in deals. Believe in chicken. KFC. Until 10th of November, subject to availability. Participating restaurants only. Not available on delivery. See website for full T's and C's.
There are all sorts of fans who make racing what it is. The armchair expert who knows it all, right down to what the horse had for breakfast. The country gents head to toe in tweed, and the ladies with their extravagant hats. The banana-suited stag-do lads, and the nan who just backed the horse because it has a funny name. Whatever kind of racing fan you are, don't miss the Coral Daily Download every morning from 6 on the Superstar Breakfast on Talksport with Coral. We're here for it. 18+, be gambleaware.org.
Halloween on Talksport.
It's another day of football action from another dimension here on Talksport, so pay close attention as we take a little look at today's supernaturally talented lineup.
At the back, John Bones, Spook Shaw and Kieran Rippier.
They have been shocking tonight.
Finally there, Gaffer. Eddie Get all thriller, no filler football coverage that doesn't suck.
I tell you what, there were hearts in mouths there.
Halloween on Talksport.
Thank you for welcoming us into your home.
Another goal, Man United 4, Leicester City won when Bilal El Khanous pulled one back, half the deficit. You thought Leicester were back in it. Well, straight away, Bruno's deflected free kick made it 3-1. Then a corner after Garnacho had a shot beaten out by Danny Ward. Corner came in. Casemiro headed the ball against one post. It went along the goal line, hit the other post and came back out. Casemiro slammed it into the net. I wonder if he gets the assist for his own goal. I think the United fans are thinking, hang on a minute, who needs Amorim? Give Ruud the job. Get a contract on the table now. Let Ruud sign it. We've heard it all before. From Manchester United, very much in control. 5 to half-time. Man United 4, Leicester City 1. In terms of our commentary game on Talksport, let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5 Plus acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3 to 1 or greater. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Well, I've had 5 goals in 40 minutes here at Old Trafford. It's still, though, Brighton 0, Liverpool 0 on Talksport in our commentary game. Brighton are 12-5 to win it in 90 minutes. 12-5. Liverpool 8-5 for the win. The draw in 90 minutes is 8-5 as well. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18 plus. GambleAware.org.
Well, I think the whole of Old Trafford thought that United had another one headed wide by Casemiro, what would have been his hat-trick, but flag was up for offside anyway. It stays Man United 4, Leicester 1. Let's update you from the 8:15 kick-off at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with Dean Ashton and Ian Danter.
Tottenham 1, Manchester City 0. We've played 12 minutes. We've got a delay because of an issue with Mickey van der Ven, Tottenham centre-half, who just had a one-on-one race down the Manchester City right flank with Savinho. Put the ball out for a throw, but I think he's tweaked his right hamstring. Even before the game, Manchester City had to make a change. That was where Ruben Diaz has had to play. Manuel Akanji injured himself in the warm-up. And then 5 minutes into the game, Spurs took the lead. Lovely flick on halfway by Brennan Johnson set Dejan Kulusevski away down the right-hand side. Hit a really early ball in low along the deck, along the 18-yard line, and Timo Werner was running onto it. Dean Ashton, what did you make of the finish and the build-up?
The finish was fantastic, and actually you look at that finish and think, why can't he do that more? That first time crisp finish, didn't make it difficult, just a nice side foot past Ortega, and they just utilised the gaps that were left by Manchester City in the wide areas. Down the right hand side, Rico Lewis is out of position because he's in midfield. Early cross means that Werner's free and he can just side foot in, but Mickey van der Ven, I feel for him, he looks so emotional walking off there knowing he's done his hamstring.
Yep, he's had to go, Adrian, so Destiny Udogie has come on to replace him. Straight swap. Kulusevski just trying to make a run through the middle, but Nathan Ake intercepts and the offside flag was up anyway. 13 and a half gone at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Spurs 1, Manchester City 0.
Well, Van der Ven fuming. I think the Spurs fans might well be fuming with that one as well. Garnacho has just struck one just over the bar. It stays Man United 4, Leicester 1. What's happening at St James Park? Steve Harmison.
It's Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0. There's been a handball appeal for Chelsea there, just brushed away from Chris Cabner. Newcastle took the lead through Alexander Isak. Chelsea are trying to play it out from the back. They got caught a couple of times on Sunday, but in this game, right on the edge of the box, Viega got caught by Tonali, and Tonali rolled it to Isak, and Isak slid home a Newcastle 1-0 lead. And then literally when Chelsea were reeling, 3 minutes later, a quick free kick played to Isak down the line, flick goal bound by Joe Willock, who got it just over the keeper, and Tosin got in the way with Diassi, and he kicked it off him right on the line, and that made it 2-0. Newcastle have been excellent. It's as good as Newcastle I have seen at this season. Complete control of this game. One quick chance from João Felix. He probably made the wrong decision. He shot when he could have passed, and that was a good save by Nick Pope. But so far so good for the black and whites. It's a sellout here at St James's Park. There's 30 seconds left as Diassi goes into the Newcastle box. He finds Sean Longstaff kicks it off for him, and it goes for a throw in. 30 seconds left in normal time. It's Newcastle 0, Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0.
Sam Dolby's equalised for Dundee United at home to Motherwell in the Scottish Premiership. Back in the Carabao Cup, what's going on at Villa Park? Jeff Peters.
It's Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 1, just about to get to half-time. Palace starting brightly with a goal from Eberechi Eze heading in Munoz's cross, but Villa levelled through John Duran, set up by Leon Bailey, his 8th goal of the season. But for Palace, big problems because Eze has gone off injured and Adam Wharton has also limped off. John Duran is down injured for Villa at the moment. Approaching the break, it's Villa 1, Palace 1, but players are falling like flies here.
Deep down, latest there, Talksport, Adam Bridge.
2 added minutes here. It's Preston 0, Arsenal 2, and all the signs are this could get messy in the second half. Gabriel Jesus with his first goal in 25 games on 24 minutes. A Martinelli free kick stood up to the back post. Kivior's knocked down, and a smart finish from close range by Jesus. And then just 9 minutes later, what a goal from Ethan Nwaneri. Sterling laid it into him at the edge of the penalty area. He let it roll across his body, and with his left foot effortlessly popped it into the top corner. Woodman didn't move. Couple of chances for Preston, both from set pieces, both to Liam Lindsay. One he headed over, one he fluffed his chance on. But Arsenal with almost 80% possession, they're comfortably on top here. Preston North End 0, Arsenal 2.
Back here at Old Trafford, we're into 4 minutes added on at the end of the first half. Man United 4, Leicester 1. So Alex Ferguson is here tonight. He's laughing and joking. He's enjoying it. Villa 1, Palace 1, Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0, Preston 0, Arsenal 2, and Spurs 1, Man City 0. Scottish Premiership, there's only 2 games with goals. They're both 1-1. Dundee United 1, Motherwell 1, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1. Remember, Spurs 1, Man City 0. We'll have second half commentary of that on Talksport. Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. Second half coming up now at the Amex with Troy Deeney and Jim Proudfoot.
And the change is going to be made. Brighton bringing a Stupinian on at left back. Troy was talking in the latter stages of the first half about the fact that Calioli, having received treatment, really didn't look as though he was moving with any degree of fluency. So Brighton have made that change at half-time. They line up with Steele in goal, Lamptey, Van Hecker, Igor, and now Stupinian, Modder and FIFA, Gruda, Enciso and Adingra, and Ferguson up top for Liverpool's Jarosz in goal, Bradley, Gomez, Kwanzaa and Robertson. A box in midfield of Endo and Morton, and then Szoboszlai and Jones, with Diaz and Gakpo as very wide split forward. So it's a kind of 4-2-4-0 formation that they're playing, really. We're back underway. Brighton blue and white striped shirts, white shorts, kicking from right to left. His first touch for Stupinian. Goes back for Igor Julio, and then he will play it back to his goalkeeper, Jason Steele. Troy Deeney alongside me. Enjoy the half-time refreshments, big man.
Yeah, the Herzler pizza was fantastic. I must admit, you had a good go at it as well, didn't you?
Well, I thought that maybe you should try slices 2 and 3 just to make sure they were as good as slice number 1, but it turned out that it was. And the new Herzler pizza, I think it's going to go down very well here. Did it? The ball... inside the penalty area. It's a magnificent shot from the left-hand side of the box from Cody Gakpo. Stands and takes the acclaim. Just played into him on the left-hand side of the box, and he's hit a right-footed effort which has flown past the goalkeeper. It's a magnificent strike. 30 seconds into the second half. And Gakpo continues his brilliant record in this competition. He has just unleashed something special.
What a goal. What a goal. We've just been talking in the break about not having anybody getting at people and shooting. And I did say Gakpo's the only person in this game that has been really positive from the start. Gets the ball out on the left-hand side, cuts straight in onto his right foot and drives just 3-4 yards into the box. No other thought of what is anybody else doing. Absolute rocket with the laces, inside netted at the far post. 1-0. What a finish, young man.
Well, he got a couple of goals in the third round against West Ham. He's not netted in 6 games since then in all competitions, but that is a sensational strike. Just a magnificent shot. Van Hecker, he tried to get his head to it. He'll be mightily relieved that he didn't. Steele threw himself at it, and it just went past him and into the top left-hand corner. Fantastic goal. What this game needed, potentially to open it up. Liverpool will bring it forward. Lamptey can control a Diaz cross on the edge of the box, and Brighton now will be able to bring it away. They're chipping it forward, and Ciso will let the ball bounce, and he will take it on. He's got Ferguson to his left. Gomez can mop up and guard it back for his goalkeeper, Jarosz. It's half-time at St James's. Steve Harmison.
Newcastle lead 2-0 at half-time. Alexander Isak with the first goal, and An own goal, the second one, a flick on from Joe Willock, and Diaz could only help it into the goal. Newcastle probably the best have played so far this season, first half, and as it stands, it's Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0.
Another goal at Old Trafford. Connor Cody pulling one back in first half stoppage time there. It's live for you right now on Talksport 2. Sorry, I say first half stoppage time, early in the second half. Manchester United 4, Leicester 2. That game continuing on Talksport 2. Connor Cody pulling one back. The ball over on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Right-footed, clipped inside the box, taking a touch off Van Hecker's head, and goes through towards Jason Steele. I was right the first time. First half stoppage time. I get confused at my age with all these staggered kick-off times, but no one is coming up to half-time. Manchester United 4, Leicester 2, definitely the score. And it is half-time there now. Estupiñán in possession for Brighton. We're definitely in the opening stage of the second half with 3 minutes into it. And it's Brighton 0, Liverpool 1. Cody Gakpo scoring the 7th goal in 8 career League Cup ties. Brighton looking to respond. Lamptey's done well. Right-hand side of the penalty area. Standing it up for a Dingra. That is a stunning stop from Jarosz. Wow. A quite magnificent save. Dingra heading the ball back where it had come. Jarosz off balance, threw himself back to his left and got a hand somehow to divert it away. It's a brilliant save, and it could have been 1-1.
You were talking about having the torch paper lit. It's well and truly lit now. That Liverpool goal has sparked Brighton into life. Tariq Lamptey down the right-hand side, great turn of pace. Kicks and runs, a bit old school, past 2. Gets past Gakpo, gets past Robinson. Stands an unbelievable ball, and from a header from Mintal, gets up, real strong neck muscles, going back across the goalie. What a save. Tips it with the outside of his fingers onto the post. Unreal save.
Yeah, it's a stunning stop. Needed the woodwork to do the rest for him, but it was such a good save that he deserved that little bit of luck with the post coming to his rescue to deny Adingra. Brighton winning it back. Here's Ferguson, and he's blazed it over the bar. First touch took him diagonally towards the byline, and he wrapped his right foot around it and fired over the bar. Really good response for Brighton to going behind.
Absolutely, that goal made him go on the front foot. Gakpo trying to turn in his own box, trying to take it on the weak side, but it's really poor. But from Evan Ferguson's point of view, he took a big touch, which as a striker you want to try and get that shot off as quick as you can. He's led him to lean over the ball, and then because he's trying to force it into that near post, just high and wide. But really good play from both teams at the start of this half.
Half-time at Deepdale. Arsenal in control in front of Adam Bridge.
They are. Preston 0, Arsenal 2. Jesus' first goal since January, and a stunner from Nwaneri, his third of the season, what separates the sides. Preston 0, Arsenal 2.
Brighton free kick here for a foul on the edge of the centre circle.
First yellow card there as well.
And it's Endo that has got it for the foul on Gruder. It's half-time as well at Villa Park. Talksport's Jeff Peters.
It's Villa 1, Palace 1. Eberechi Eze's free header giving Palace an early lead. John Duran levelling his 8th of the season. Eze and teammate Adam Wharton both gone off injured. Horrendous news for the Eagles. Villa 1, Palace 1.
So 1-1 there. As Jeff said, really bad news for the Eagles with Eze and Wharton both injured inside that opening 45 minutes. 1-0 here. Cody Gakpo 30 seconds into the second half with his 3rd goal of the season, his 26th for Liverpool. There's Adingra going back inside his own half. Bradley pushing forward. Diaz winning it back, getting it out towards Bradley again, and Ciso is in there. There's greater intensity and tempo about things at the beginning of this second half now. Ball goes through towards Estupiñán. He was just dallying in possession, put under immediate pressure by Endo. And a free kick has been given Brighton's way, which Estupiñán takes himself. 1-0 Liverpool.
Liverpool just sending the kids to warm up now, and Mohamed Salah and McAllister to go and get warm. It's a really interesting part of the game now, though, isn't it? Where they're sending... Brighton are sending everybody forward as if like it's the last couple of minutes. It's like this goal has just made them go, right, we're going to get after it, and making for a really good game. Tariq Lamptey's getting involved more and more.
The referee's played a good advantage. Lamptey was brought down, and his shot fires just wide of the bottom left-hand corner. It was Gruder coming onto it. It would have been some way for him to mark his full debut for the club. Lamptey doing the hard work, and Ciso then with a lovely layoff. I think Jarosz probably had it covered diving away to his right-hand side. It went about a yard wide.
Yes, great play again. Tariq Lamptey down that right-hand side is causing all sorts of problems for Andy Robertson and Gakpo, because He's making gap over defend, but he's also got the legs on both of them. But he's being really cute. He's not trying to be clever. He's just going, right, I'm going to pass it round you, I'm going to sprint and see how many times you want to try and keep up with me. But every time he's got there, he's given a level of assuredness that he's going to make something happen, which is making Liverpool back up.
Estupinian, Modder, Adingra. Was he shoved to the floor by Bradley? Referee says yes. Free kick to Brighton and a goal at Tottenham. Ian Danta.
Spurs 2, Manchester City 0, 24 minutes. Pape Sarr scored it. Short corner routine on the right-hand side between Kulusevski and Werner. Rolled back to Sarr, and he passed it into the net from 25 yards out. Brilliant hit, beating Ortega. Spurs 2, Man City 0.
Third of the season for Sarr. Tottenham 2, Manchester City 0. Brighton trying to get themselves back on level terms. Free kick, about a foot or so in from the dead ball line, and 10 yards in from the corner flag. And Ciso stands, hands on hips, ready to deliver. Hits it low towards the corner of the 6-yard box. It was a poor one, and it was easily knocked away. Now Adingra will take over. Cleared out towards the Brighton left. His ball in was very routinely fielded by Robertson. Diaz will take it down towards his own corner flag. He's flicked it off Lamptey, and it goes out of play for a throw that Liverpool will take in the right back position. Much better second half than first so far, Troy, with Liverpool a goal to the good.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, we said it in the first half, Brighton looked a much physically bigger team, and every ball in from a set piece or from a corner has been really bad from Brighton's point of view. So I think that's something that the set piece coach, who was out here already remonstrating with his team, would want a little bit more quality from. Just take a bit more time. I think you could kind of just leave it in the air as well, because they're so much bigger at the moment, Brighton, than Liverpool are.
Ferguson, nice turn from the Irishman. Adingra will come in off the left-hand touchline. Jakob Modder, ball in from him, took an awkward deflection, and Jarosz had to backpedal very quickly. There was a routine save in the end. He stuck his right hand above his head and just helped it on its way over the bar. But it's another Brighton corner, which will be taken over on the far touchline, the Albion right. Their third of the game. And they'll get the big guns forward again. Ferguson standing right in front of the goalkeeper. Igor's unmarked at the far post. He will make his way towards the near post area now. It's in very deep. Modder with first contact. Chance on the turn for Van Hecke. Scooped up in the air. Half-headed clear. Van Hecke ducks his head in. And then Gruder tries a left-footed effort, which takes his teammate Van Hecke off his feet. And he goes out of play for a Liverpool throw, which they wanted to take quickly. They couldn't quite take it quickly enough to take advantage of the fact that Brighton had lost their defensive shape because Van Hecke had been knocked to the ground. Liverpool have it from the throw, but have been forced to go back to the goalkeeper. Jarosz is put under pressure here, but he can kick the ball clear in time and find Szoboszlai. Endo then down towards Bradley, sticks the brakes on his run, controls the pass forward, and Modder slides in, knocks it away from Szoboszlai, and out for a throw that will be taken on the Liverpool right-hand side. Great passage of play.
There must be something that Brighton have seen, because that's 3 corners now, every time to the back post. So I don't know whether Liverpool are overloading the front, or they just feel that they can physically dominate and try and play for the second ball. But again, he's falling in the box, and you're like, right, composure. It's just getting wild, isn't it, for Brighton? Really good passage of play, though, as you say. And I think if Brighton don't score in the next couple of minutes, you could see Liverpool making a few changes just to try and kill the game, with the likes of Van Dijk, Salah, Nunes. Just had a bit more quality, a bit more danger on the counter-attack, just to really make Brighton work for it. But at the moment, it's a great game of football.
Yeah, the benches look like this tonight. Liverpool, Van Dijk, Konate, Nunez, McAllister, Salah, Tsimikas, and then youngsters Young and Nioni, and keeper Kelleher. Brighton, Welbeck, Baliba, Mitoma, Ayari, Veltman, Hinshelwood and Turns, and Verbruggen. Estupinian's already on for the injured Kadiolu. And Brighton will bring the ball away. 11 minutes into the second half. Brighton trailing by a goal to nil. Last League Cup meeting of these two was here in a third-round tie back in 2011. Dirk Kuyt scored the winner. Liverpool knocked Brighton out back in the 80s as well. And at the moment, they're set to continue their 100% record against this opposition in this competition. They've also this season got an outstanding record when they score first. They've done it in 9 separate games in all competitions this season. They've won all 9. The ball cleared by Igor, high ball over the top from him. Adingra will chase after it. Slightly awkward control from Kwanzaa. That's academic though, because Adingra was offside. It's a free kick that Liverpool will take on the edge of their own penalty area. Brighton 0, Liverpool 1 here on Talksport. Let me remind you what's coming up. You can tune in to Ruud van Nistelrooy's first game as interim manager at Manchester United right now. They're in complete control, 4-2 up at half-time against Leicester. It's really easy to swipe between the two stations by the Talksport app, or just ask your smart speaker to play Talksport 2 DAB Plus on your radio and online via talksport.com. And then after us, we'll bring you the second half of Spurs Man City with Ian Dander and Dean Ashton. Quarter-final draw of the Carabao Cup is going to take place as well at the conclusion of that game. And you can have your say on the draw and everything that's happened tonight with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy when they open up the sports bar at 10:30 tonight here on Talksport. 03717223344 is the number. With Endo in possession, the only man booked so far, driving it forward through the midfield, but not to good effect. Lamptey wins it back, goes back for Jason Steele. There's a little bit of action down in front of us on the Brighton bench, and I think that a few more changes are going to be imminent, Troy.
Yeah, it looks like Welbs is going through his routine a bit more vigorously than a few of the others. I don't know whether that's old age for Welbs or he's actually ready to come on, but it's finely balanced, isn't it, this match?
Here's Adingra, nice ball to find him on the corner of the penalty area. He looked as though he's going to come inside, then try to go around the outside. Bradley won it. Home crowd thought that their man was fouled. Jones can bring it away. He then turns away from a blind alley and goes back for Kwanzaa. From him to Jarosz. The pressure applied immediately by Enciso, but Jarosz, who's done all right tonight, plays out towards Gomez. Gomez thought that he was fouled. Play goes on. Darren Bond well placed. Modder drives it forward too low. Hit Joe Gomez. Ricochets Brighton's way in the midfield. Comes back for Igor. Igor down to the left-hand side for Purvis Estupiñán. Now Estupiñán, the Ecuadorian international, goes back for Igor. Igor inside the centre circle for Van Acker. Now out towards the far touchline again. Brighton working it from the left over to the right. Lamptey going back, not really making any headway through the midfield in this passage of play, Brighton. Liverpool are happy just to pass them on from man to man. Now they can get through towards Lamptey. Lamptey 10 yards outside the penalty area. Trying to take on Liverpool numbers 2 and 3, Gomez and Endo. Whips it out towards the edge of the box. Left-footed shot, takes a deflection. And Viva's effort deflects away for another corner.
Really good play again. We keep saying his name, but Lamptey's growing more and more of an influence in this game. Coming inside this time, instead of using his pace, he's come inside, creating that bit of doubt for Liverpool. But because he's done so well, they're happy to get after him again. And good play there from Gruder, getting in on his left foot. Again, trying to get the shot off. Really good game now. And Liverpool looking like they're making changes.
We've reached the hour mark. It's 1-0 Liverpool. In comes the corner. And that one headed away by Gomez. Lamptey, he's going to chase after it, didn't get there. And it's 2 against 1. Massive trouble for Brighton here. 3 against 1. Liverpool surely will score a second goal. Tim for Szoboszlai, right-footed, and still makes the save. Viva then heads it away. What a mess Liverpool made of that. Driving forward, they waited, they dallied, they took their time. Szoboszlai with a shot that lacked conviction. It should have been all over. Liverpool will bring it forward now. Robertson claiming a foul on the edge of the area, nothing given. Brighton can bring it away. Will that be a turning point in the game? Because how it's not a second goal, who knows?
Yeah, the two players that we've mentioned the most in this game, Cody Gakpo and Lamptey. Lamptey has to get there, makes an awful mistake. They then counter-attack through Diaz, Gakpo and Szoboszlai joining late. But if you're just watching, as Gakpo does that there, he gets to the edge of the box, brings the one defender in great, and instead of just rolling it so Szoboszlai can come on, he dinks it, which makes Szoboszlai have to take a touch, which allows Jason Steele to close that gap. Really poor from Gakpo. If he just leaves it there, Szoboszlai comes on, rolls it in, game's done and dusted. But those small finite details are the ones that decide games between winning and losing. We saw it before and we'll see it again.
As Gakpo has won it back from Lamptey. Will he do better this time? He's inside the area.
Yeah.
Yes, he will. Firing it in past Jason Steele. And Liverpool double their lead. And barely a minute after a big miss, they take advantage right in front of the away fans. And the holders, 2-0 up on the South Coast, look set fair for a place in the quarterfinals.
Well, I must have Tariq Lamptey's worst nightmare. So every time I tell you he's doing well, he's just lost the ball really poorly. Great play from Cody Gakpo again. Ball bounces, as every kid ever been told, don't let the ball bounce. Tariq Lamptey lets it bounce. Gakpo takes it off him again, drives into the box, gets it onto that right foot. Everyone's expecting him to try and do something. No, pure power at that near post. Excellent finish. And do you know what I love even more about all of that? Just down to our right, the two centre-halves, Konate, Van Dijk, celebrating like they scored. That's a team that is all together, that's in this. Excellent goal from Liverpool. I don't know why Brighton are expecting for something to be taken off and changed, but make some changes now, get ready for the weekend. Excellent from Liverpool.
2 goals in round 3, and now 2 goals in round 4 for Cody Gakpo. There's a big ovation here for Alexis McAllister, who's going to be coming on for Liverpool. McAllister, a firm favourite in his time on the South Coast. It's a standing ovation from some of the Brighton supporters. 112 games for the club, 20 goals, and an instrumental part of the Brighton team between 2019 and 23. And he's coming on. Now he's replaced Morton. Endo comes off, and he's being replaced by Trey Nioni, 17-year-old, who played for 15 minutes against Southampton in the 5th round of the FA Cup last season, and he comes on for his second Liverpool first team appearance tonight. A big night for him, the longest appearance of his Liverpool career today. Szoboszlai bringing it forward towards the edge of the penalty area, still got it. Nioni cleverly caressing the ball into the path of Robertson outside him. Now he goes towards Gakpo, chipped in from him. Bradley comes to meet it, heads it down. Diaz with a left-footed volley, which was a miscue, and it almost ended up being a bizarre cross for Gakpo racing in. He couldn't reach it, goes out of play for a goal kick to Brighton. 2-0 Liverpool.
Liverpool turning the screw now in terms of intensity, attacking prowess. It's forcing Brighton. We've just seen Brighton calling 2 of their players as well, causing Brighton to have to make changes now, because if this goes on for another 5 minutes, it's game, set, match. Liverpool really turning the screw like proper pros here now and getting after it.
You're with Talksport, and also a very good afternoon to our listeners across the United States and Canada on Sirius XM-FC 157. Brighton 0, Liverpool 2, Villa 1, Palace 1, Manchester United 4, Leicester 2, Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0, Preston 0, Arsenal 2, Spurs 2, Manchester City 0. And in the big game tonight in Scotland, Aberdeen lead Rangers at half-time by a goal to 0. Stupiniana's giving it away. Veltman's going to be coming on for Brighton in a moment. Curtis Jones has got it for Liverpool, works it out towards the far touchline. Andy Robertson knocks it forward, and Cody Gakpo will be able to pick it up. You know, Liverpool have only lost 1 League Cup tie in 90 minutes in the last 5 years. And that was a defeat to Manchester City back in the 22-23 season, the game that they lost 3-2. Their only defeat in 17 League Cup ties. They have gone out on penalties in one of the ones they've drawn, but 1 defeat in 17, and that's looking as though it's going to be 1 defeat in 18. Here's McAllister getting the better of Enciso. Liverpool number 10 getting one over the Brighton number 10, and Veltman and Hinshelwood are going to be coming on, and Liverpool are going to be bringing Nunez on in a moment as well, I think. Well spotted, Troy, as Liverpool have it over on the far touchline.
Looks like Salah as well, just to really turn the screw onto this Brighton team. So it looks like Liverpool are looking to get the job done. I wouldn't be surprised if Gakpo plus Nunez come off and get them ready for the weekend. So everyone gets their minutes in their legs and are ready for the weekend.
Gomez finding Quansah. Quansah down towards the Liverpool right-hand side. Conor Bradley able to knock it back for Luis Diaz. So Salah and Nunez getting ready. And yeah, you would imagine it's going to be Diaz and Gakpo who will come off. But we'll find out in a moment. Ball back for Quansah, right-footed ball over the top from him. Bradley making a good run. Stupinian had to stretch to divert it out of his flight path, and he can then volley the ball clear. And Dingra tried to control it, couldn't. It comes off him and goes out of play. That will allow Brighton the chance to make their changes. So Van Hecker's coming off, and Veltman will come on to replace him. And these might be changes made with a weekend in mind. Remember, these two meet again at Anfield Saturday, 3 o'clock. The other change is going to see Hinshelwood come on for Modder. Let's go back round the grounds. First, at Tyneside, Steve Harmison.
Yeah, Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0. 7 minutes gone in this second half. And again, Chelsea started with a lot of possession, but still taking huge risks on the edge of their box. A couple of times have given the ball away now. Willock should have a good chance. Flashing across goal as Mudryk runs into the box. His cross fires across the goal, but not too dangerous, and it was broken up by Sean Longstaff. Willock had a good chance. Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0.
Jones plays the ball back to the edge of his own penalty area. Gomez gets it forward towards Bradley. Bradley down towards Luis Diaz for Liverpool. Bradley ends up on his knees, claiming that he was pushed by Adingra. Referee Bond says play on. Liverpool still got the ball. They switch it over towards the left flank, and Cody Gakpo can bring it under control. Let's go to Deepdale. Adam Bridge.
Arsenal 2, double change for Arsenal at half-time with the introduction of Havertz and Partey just to extend Preston's misery. They've just had their first shot of the game. That came from Epe Ockles, and that was blocked inside the Arsenal penalty area. Preston 0, Arsenal 2.
And at Villa Park in a moment, Andy Robertson bringing the ball forward for Liverpool. He wins a throw. So we can go there now. What's happening, Villa Palace? Jeff Peters?
It's still 1-1. John Duran cancelling out Eberechi Eze's early goal. Eze and Wharton off injured. Duran with a chance early second half, but it remains Villa 1, Palace 1.
And to Old Trafford, Adrian Durham.
Well, it's early stages of the second half. 5 minutes in. Manchester United 4, Leicester City 2. But Leicester have come out with a bit of vigour and a bit of passion. They think this game is not over, and the way United are defending, you have to agree with them as well. But no change to the scoreline. Man United 4, Leicester 2.
Another slightly nervy moment for Jason Steele. It chips the ball out towards the far touchline, but got that away from danger. Brighton 2 down in this game with just over 20 minutes to go. The last 2 games that they've been on this ground, though, 2-0 lead wasn't enough for victory. Brighton at the weekend blew a 2-0 lead against Wolves. The previous home game, they were 2-0 down against Tottenham here and came back to win. So they would say that there is still a little bit of time. But it's all well and good having a little bit of time when the opposition are bringing Mo Salah on off the bench. It doesn't make your job any easier. The first change, Szoboszlai, is going to be replaced by Darwin Nunez, and Cody Gakpo is making way. Mo Salah comes on to replace him. Mo Salah, who scored in each of his last 2 League Cup ties, both against West Ham. He's got a great record against Brighton as well, 9 in 15, including goals in his last 2 trips to the South Coast. So Nunez and Salah on. Troy?
Yeah, gone back to the normal front three. So Diaz got to play on his favoured left-hand side. Gakpo comes and takes a rest. And probably asking the question now, does he start at the weekend? I think this is more likely to be happening at the weekend.
As Robertson swings the ball in, Joe Gomez sees the ball come off the top of his head. It's Hinshelwood that tries to win it and has done well, diverts it away. Now Enciso out towards Adingra. Adingra urged on by the Brighton fans in front of us. Chance for him to try and commit Bradley. He's done that, he's still got it. He stands it up towards the far post where Robertson just got there in the nick of time to get it away from the onrushing Ferguson.
Adingra has just absolutely introduced Bradley to men's football. He has sent him left, right, every which way that he shouldn't go. Skipped past him. It's the first time he's actually got at his man all day. Chipped it to the back post. Great defending from Robertson at the back post, but good for Brighton to see Adingra actually getting at people and causing a bit of problems.
Gone out of play for a corner, which will be taken on the Brighton right as in-swinger. Jarosz has punched it. Didn't punch it where he wanted to, and he punched it back out towards that corner flag. Not with too much strength. Robertson was there. He was lucky that he was to be able to get it away. Igor's got it now. The Brighton centre half. Back towards Enciso. Ciso's got it, will turn. He's got Adingra to his left. He's got a Stupinian there as well. Brought forward through the midfield, Ferguson, and then Hinshelwood goes to ground, and he wins a free kick to Brighton. This could be a big moment as they try and get themselves back into the game. Anyway, back into the game for Preston is Adam Bridge.
No chance, I think. Preston 0, Arsenal 3. Kai Havertz, the half-time sub with a header. Lovely ball in from Martinelli. Delicious header from Havertz, and the last EFL team in this year's competition are on their way out. Preston 0, Arsenal 3.
7th goal of the season for Havertz. And Arsenal 3 goals to the good there. Tottenham 2 up, Newcastle 2 up. Man United are 2 up, leading 4-2. Liverpool 2 up here. It's the Villa Palace game that's got the most jeopardy on it at the moment. A 7:45 kickoff that is still 1-1. 4 in the Liverpool wall. It's Enciso that strikes the free kick. And only about 3-4 feet off the ground. It was an easy one for the wall to get right. The Liverpool quartet knocked it away. It came off the knees of Kwanzaa. Ball back over the top for Brighton from the midfield. Purvis Estupiñán, and Bradley's blocked that and he goes out of play for a throw.
You were being nice there. I think he hit his toenail. It was so bad, that free kick. He hasn't delivered a good set piece today, not one essential, which is really annoying because he's technically very gifted as well. But a moment now for Brighton to get back into the game and get after it. But they should be really worried as well now because Liverpool have that real pace and dynamic threat now with this front three to really hit you on the counter-attack.
But in order to do so, they need better balls in the approach play than the one that Luis Diaz has just provided, and he immediately acknowledged as the ball went out of play for a throw that he might have had a better fist of that, finding Mo Salah. Dingra taking on Bradley again. That's much better defending from the Northern Ireland international. I think some of the Brighton fans at that end of the ground, their reactions suggest that maybe the last touch came off Bradley there, but it is a goal kick which will be taken by a combination of Jarosz and Gomez to our left. More action on the Brighton bench in front of us. They've already made 3 changes. They're going to be bringing Danny Welbeck on in a moment. And he's going to have probably around 15-20 minutes of playing time in order to make an effect on the game. Cal Matoma is going to be coming on as well, and that'll be Brighton's final change. Vifa has the ball on the right-hand side of the Albion midfield. He's midway inside the Liverpool half. Ball played into Hinchelwood. He went to ground, no foul. And a chance for Liverpool to bring it forward. Bradley clipping one forward. Horrible bounce again for Lamptey. And he just cleared his head, finding Nunez. Now bring it forward, it's Nioni. Oh. Sliced across the ball and it goes wide of the top right-hand corner. But a really good piece of play by Trey Nioni making his way forward. 2-0 Liverpool lead. And a double change here for Brighton. Mitoma and Welbeck are coming on. Gruder is going to come off. What have you made of his full debut for Brighton tonight, Troy?
Okay. There's been little bits of quality that you've seen, and you can see why Brighton have taken him on. But looked like he hasn't played a lot of football. Looked like the pace was a little bit too much for him. But both changes for Brighton now are adding experience and quality, but also pace and power. So Welbs is in great form, obviously scored a lot of goals, and Matoma has come back this season with a point to prove that he can not only score but assist on a consistent basis as well. So interesting subs for Brighton.
Here's Nioni, right-footed, has dragged it inside the penalty area. And it's half clear. Curtis Jones on the edge of the penalty area was waiting. The ball was played back by Diaz. He had his legs taken away from underneath him, so he thought. Appealing for a penalty. Liverpool fans did too. There's no VAR in this game tonight. Play goes on. Brighton working it forward here for Mitoma. Mitoma, left-hand side of the box, going the long way round. Bradley pulls it back, wins the corner off the retreating Kwanzaa.
You see the impact already with Welbeck and Mitoma. 2 times there, Danny Welbeck showed his quality, linking it off with a one-touch play. Get it out to Mitoma, and again, instantly gets at Bradley, forces the corner. That's what Brighton need moving forward.
Mitoma, the man that scored the goal that knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup here a couple of years ago, and making an instant impression tonight. Estupiñán to take this corner for Brighton. 15 to go. Header down, easily saved by Jarosz. It was just powered into the ground by Vifa, but looped up kindly for the goalkeeper to make a stop. There's been another goal at Tottenham. Ian Danta.
Tottenham 2, Manchester City 1, right at the end of the first half. Matheus Nunes driving the ball home at the far post. Lovely cross from the right by Savinho. Superbly controlled half volley. And that is the half-time score. Spurs 2, Man City 1.
Well, Nunes' goal coming in the 4th minute of first half stoppage time. And a reminder that when this game finishes in about 20 minutes or so time, we'll be there to pick up the action at Tottenham against Manchester City. Here's the Stupinian bringing the ball forward, finding Mitoma. Brighton 2-0 down. Mitoma's just taken a tumble, just lost his balance. The ball's gone out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Jarosz.
Instantly, though, he's offered a threat, a directness. Possibly think that was a foul, to be fair, a little push in the back, but he's making Liverpool have to think instantly. And the way that they're pressing now as well, with him, Welbs, is a bit more dynamic, a bit more aggressive, which is making Liverpool make more mistakes.
Jarosz with a clearance. High ball forward. Headed away by Brighton at the back and through the midfield towards Ferguson. Ferguson getting it out to the Brighton right for Simon Adingra. Back from him to Vifa. Here's Veltman playing at centre half now alongside Igor, replaced Van Acker. Down towards Mitoma. Mitoma with an opportunity again to run a Bradley. Checks onto his right foot. Laid back by Welbeck. Couldn't pick up Vifa. Liverpool bring it away, then give it away. It's Ferguson to his right for Adingra. Adingra, the second time of asking, chipping it in. Mitoma can bring it down beautifully. Let the ball sail over his shoulder. Killed it. Estupinian with the ball in. Header from Adingra is saved. And there's another goal at Old Trafford for Adrian Durham.
Manchester United 5, Leicester 2. The next goal in this was crucial, and Man United have got it. Poor back pass from Okoli, didn't make it. Bruno Fernandes latched onto it, rounded the keeper, basically walked it up to the goal line, slammed it home. Man United 5, Leicester 2.
Hadn't scored for Manchester United all season before tonight, Bruno Fernandes, but 2 in the first game post Ten Hag. Here's Nioni for Liverpool. 12 minutes to go. Brighton 0, Liverpool 2 remains the score. An equaliser for Kilmarnock at Hearts, 1-1 in that game. Celtic have just taken the lead against Dundee. Alistair Johnston with the breakthrough goal there. Remember, Aberdeen leading Rangers 1-0 in the 8 o'clock kickoff. Welbeck has pulled McAllister to the ground. Foul on his former Brighton teammate. There's a free kick that Liverpool take inside the centre circle. What do Brighton need to do then with 11 minutes plus stoppage time to go to create more chances and give themselves the best possible opportunity to get back into the game?
Exactly what they've been doing. He's going out wide to Mitoma as early as possible, letting him get at Bradley. Again, ball's been going out to Adingra. Get your shots off. Make something happen. Don't know where the deflection's going to go. You don't know if you're going to put it in the top corner like Gakpo did. But if you don't shoot, you're never going to score. And today he's just missed that chance to just pull the trigger on 3, 4, maybe even 5 occasions, and that's, I think, how they get in, because the pressure's very good. This Liverpool team will try and control it, but they will make mistakes like that.
Where's Kwanzaa finding Ferguson by mistake? The initial shot is saved. Adingra is in there to bundle it in. Brighton are back in the game. Simon Adingra with the goal, coming in off the right flank. Evan Ferguson's shot beaten away by Jarosz, and then he was just hoping there'd be a Liverpool player first to it. There wasn't. Kwanzaa's error is punished emphatically, and it's Brighton 1, Liverpool 2.
It's like I've got a little earpiece in for him, isn't it? That's literally what I just said. But the press again is excellent for Brighton. Really poor from Kwanzaa. Tries to play it into McAllister, misses him, goes to Evan Ferguson. I actually thought at the time, drive, let the defender come to you, then lay in Adingra, but he didn't. He has a shot, really poor goalkeeping, parries it out into the middle of his goal. Adingra, like all good strikers, following in, nice goal, gets a goal he probably deserves in terms of if he actually would shoot. But now all the pressure back on Liverpool to see this game through.
And Adingra has now scored in every League Cup tie that he's played this season. Mitoma trying to find a way forward, wins the throw off Conor Bradley. St Mirren 2, St Johnstone 1. Mark O'Hara has put St Mirren ahead. And who's gone ahead of Villa Park? Jeff Peters.
It's Crystal Palace who've taken the lead again. They're 2-1 up here. Dai Kamada on a substitute with a right foot finish from just outside the penalty area. Villa playing out from the back, gave the ball away. It's Villa 1, Palace 2.
He's only scored 1 goal for Palace before today, and that was in this competition as well against Norwich. And Palace, who've lost 3 of the last 4 games, 2-1 up at Villa Park. Bradley under more pressure on the Brighton left-hand side. Stupinian has got the ball stopped. It's stationary down by the corner flag. It was for Literally, probably 5-6 seconds. Stupinian trying to play the ball off Bradley, eventually managed to do that. It's a Brighton throw. Taking it back for Mitoma. Mitoma to Igor. He goes deeper still for Veltman. Now an opportunity for Brighton to bring it forward. Mitoma flicking it round the corner. Vifa chasing after it. I think he just got caught round the side of the face by mistake there from Kwanzaa. There were no complaints. Brighton will be able to bring the ball forward, but Veltman's given it away to his frustration and the pressure from Salah, and it's a Liverpool throw midway inside the Brighton half. 8 to go, 2-1 Liverpool.
The Brighton subs down this left-hand side in Estupinian and Mitoma have really changed the game. With Estupinian coming inside, he's making Salah go and chase him, which is letting that lane open for a great ball straight from the centre-back, straight out to Mitoma, and every single time he's getting open at him 1v1 versus Bradley, and they just keep feeding that ball. Interestingly, from Liverpool, sending the two big centre-halves out, I'd expect to see them in the next 5 or so minutes just to see this game out, because at the moment he's all Brighton.
Yeah, Konate and Van Dijk both out away to our left-hand side, warming up. Liverpool will bring the ball forward again with Diaz over on the far touchline. They're level with the edge of the Brighton box as it's clipped over the top via a deflection. Robertson will bring it down, but didn't have any time to construct a pass, and Brighton get it away. Gomez on halfway, goes all the way back for his goalkeeper Jarosz, and that goal that he's just conceded, the first he's ever let in this competition. Now Kwanzaa's got it, and down towards Bradley on the Liverpool right. So is a 2-0 lead going to again be eroded on this ground for the third time in the space of about 3 weeks? Brighton fans will hope that it is. Leone's just been wrestled to the ground there by Vifa. Play allowed to continue. 17-year-old's back on his feet. McAllister with a lovely ball out towards Mo Salah. Salah running towards the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed, scoops the cross in. It's headed away at the back by Lamptey. And then a right-footed effort deflected. Good save from Steele because he was going the wrong way. And he instinctively, after the deflection, threw out a right hand and was able to block it. Liverpool will come again with Diaz. Diaz, has beaten him at the near post, and that will be that. Second time Jason Steele's been beaten there tonight. And Liverpool are 3-1 up, and with 6 minutes to go, that surely is enough. Ball played forward towards Luis Diaz, and he just drove it low and hard past Steele. And Liverpool's 2-goal cushion is restored late in the game, and they're surely going through to the quarterfinals.
Excellent. This is what we've been talking about all day. Just get that little half a yard and just fire it through legs. Really good play from Diaz. Again, feel really sorry for Jason Steele. It's a great save there to keep his team in it. But defensively, from Brighton's point of view, really poor. No desire to stop the ball. Again, unfortunately, Tariq Lamptey goes through his legs at the near post. Diaz, great strike. Job done for Liverpool. And the two big centre-halves can sit down and rest because it's the afternoon off for them.
30th goal in Liverpool colours for Luis Diaz is his first in 7 games, as he got a couple against Bournemouth early season, but it is his 6th goal of the campaign all told. 3-1 they lead Brighton. Brighton 1, Liverpool 3, 2 for Gakpo, 1 for Diaz, and that, you would imagine, will be job done and extending this impressive run in this competition to 1 defeat in 18. But here's Mitoma making his way forward. He's inside the penalty area, goes for the shot, but he had retreating Liverpool defenders coming back and making life difficult for him. They were able to make the blockers smuggle the ball back for Jarosz.
Again, every time he gets the ball, Mitoma, this will be something that Brighton will look towards the weekend, especially with how Trent goes inside and gets on the ball. But if they're going to leave Mitoma with this much space, then he's going to cause Liverpool problems. I know it's at Anfield and I know Liverpool are flying at the moment, but he has that capability to just turn a speed, turn a pace, to really cause people problems, and you don't realise how quick he is until you watch him in person. I think on the TV it's a bit deceptive, but you can see it here now. The centre-half's got the ball. Estepinian walks inside, and it leaves the lane open for him to just do what he wants. He can go up against Bradley, or he can drop into the space, get it, and then run at him. So, real good play from Brighton at this moment in time.
Kilmarnock 2-1 up at Hearts, whose torrid run looks set to continue with a late goal from Carvacell. Celtic 2, Dundee 0. Now the ball cleared out towards Mitoma on the edge of the penalty area. It's an Arne Engels penalty that has doubled the Champions League. The Champions lead in Scotland as the Cross comes in from the Brighton left and Gomez heads it away, and then there's a bit of wrestling going on between Lamptey and Diaz, and Lamptey's won that battle because he's got a free kick, but you feel that Brighton might have to score from it if they're going to be able to engineer a way back into this game. The free kick was taken, but too quickly for Darren Bond and from the wrong place, but that gives Brighton the opportunity to load the penalty area and see if they can make something happen from here. Lamptey standing over it. FIFA has just departed the scene. So can Lamptey get the delivery right? Estupinian waits unmarked towards the edge of the penalty area. If it's briskly hit square, Lamptey knocks it in instead towards the penalty spot. It's easy for Gomez to head away. Veltman scuffs the clearance, but manages to get it back out towards the Dingler. He will send a high ball in towards the edge of the penalty area. Bradley heads that away from Mitoma, and he goes out for a throw that'll be taken on the Brighton left-hand side. So Liverpool nearly there. Brentford already through. It was great hearing from Ivan Toney on the station this morning, speaking for the first time since his move from Brentford to Saudi Arabia. Don't forget Alan Brazil and Gabby Bagnag-Bonlahor bringing you TalkSport breakfast tomorrow morning from 6. Gabby will have a bit to say about Villa's elimination from the League Cup, if indeed it stays that way. Palace leading 2-1 at Villa right now. Opportunity for Liverpool to bring the ball forward with Nioni. 90 seconds of normal time to go, with possibly 5 minutes to be added on. Liverpool have still got it around the edge of the Brighton box. McAllister goes deep, too deep for Mo Salah, who just stolen a march there on Estupinian, but the ball not good enough to find him. Still will take a goal kick, and by the time he takes it, will almost be in the last minute. Troy Deeney with Liverpool 3-1 up.
Yeah, when you start to see the Brighton fans start to exit, get home nice and early, and hopefully watch the last bit of the Man City game, like a lot of our listeners will be tuning in afterwards. But really intriguing for how this game can play out at the weekend. Clearly both very good technical footballing teams. It's been a game of small margins, where Gakpo's took his chances and Diaz later on has took his chance. Brighton should have taken a few more, got a few more shots off. So if you're the manager of Brighton, you're very, very happy with what you've seen, and you're also very disappointed that you've lost this game.
Mitoma, good 1-2 between him and Estupinian. Cross fired in, Danny Welbeck coming to attack it, falls for Lamptey. Bar deflection, it's in. Just a little bit of life breathed into this League Cup tie right at the death. Tariq Lamptey with a left-footed shot that deflects off Kwanzaa. Wrong foots his goalkeeper, and it's Brighton 2, Liverpool 3 in stoppage time.
I was going to say what a goal, because he's had a difficult day, Tariq Lamptey, but he's really good and really aggressive on the pressure as it comes back out. Gets in front of Diaz, takes a touch with his left foot right on the edge of the D, shooting. It's literally rolling into the keeper's hands, and for some reason Kwanzaa throws himself in front of the ball, hits his heel and goes in the opposite corner, leaving the goalkeeper with no chance. Liverpool reacting by trying to get Konate on now, but 2 goals that have gone in, and Kwanzaa's been at the heart of both of them.
So Brighton 2, Liverpool 3. And Liverpool, you couldn't say that they're hanging on necessarily, but there's a whole dose of jeopardy in it now that they will feel that they shouldn't have been. Curtis Jones has got the ball over on the far touchline. It's going to be a free kick, and the change is going to be made. Konate will come on for Kwanzaa midway through the first of 5 additional minutes. Liverpool 3-2 up, and here comes Konate just to try and make things that little bit more solid at the back.
Yeah, it's a shame for Kwanzaa, because game. Yeah.
Konate will come back on, and he will replace Terrell Kwanzaa, who's Troy was saying hasn't had a bad game. Here's Gomez back towards Bradley. Bradley just chipping one up towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed away by Veltman, and then Jones heads it back forward, and it goes out towards the far touchline for what will be a Liverpool throw. All they need to do, keep possession and just try and take the sting out of the situation here.
Yeah, I'm back now. I think our producer Declan had enough of listening to me, so he just unplugged me. But I was just saying for Kwanzaa, he's had a good game, but I think this is a massive part of his learning, because it happened at Man United as well last season. you can have a good game, but as a centre-back, if you keep making the same mistakes, it's going to end up in goals.
Now Welbeck trying to get the run of Konate as he wrestled him down. He has. He's going to get a yellow card. They were clearly covering defenders. It wasn't the denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, but Konate's in the book within seconds of coming on, and Brighton have a free kick in a central area. It's not within shooting range. It's 20 yards outside the box. But Troy's talked about this area advantage that Brighton might be able to exploit. And what will they be able to do here? They've rolled it short. Estupinian firing it in. Might break Welbeck's way. Konate with the slice clearance goes high up in the air. Ball goes out towards the far touchline. Diaz plays it back down towards his own corner flag, where he's been able to buy a throw off a Dingra. And it's a throw that Andy Robertson's going to be in no hurry to take. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time to go.
But that's the beauty of having the experience of Konate on there. Gets caught originally with the wrong side of Danny Welbeck as it's going through. Smart enough, wise enough to just take the yellow, not try and run back and get into a foot race with him. Just kill it off, and here come Liverpool again.
And Darwin Nunez has got it, and he might just think about making progress down towards the corner flag. He's running at Igor. He will try and take him on and get inside the penalty area. And Igor just stood firm, went shoulder to shoulder with him, shepherds the ball over the line and out of play. Goal kick taken quickly. Brighton fans in front of us on their feet, urging their side to get the ball forward as quickly as possible. Hinshelwood lays it back for Igor. Just nudges it away from Nioni. Now played by Veltman. Arne Slot not happy. He wants more pressure on the ball. Nioni just got caught between Hinshelwood and Igor for a moment. And when he does apply the pressure, he's forced Igor to go back for Steele. Steele driving it forward. 90 seconds to go. Mitoma trying to get in around the back of Bradley to break Ferguson's way, but the flag's up. And it's a free kick to Liverpool on the edge of their own box.
Right decision. He's definitely offside, but I just love the way that the Liverpool players are defending that, because you have to play it to the last whistle. If that goes through and obviously they score and the referee brings it back, fair enough. But they're not taking any chances. They're not leaving it to VAR. They're celebrating as if, right, get this job done, let's get back on the bus and get rested up. But Bradley's had a bit of a tough time in this second half, but still in there, cramping up at the moment. Be a really good learning experience for the young man.
Jarosz taking as many seconds as he thinks he can get away with before launching the ball forward. It's gone straight through for Jason Steele. So about 40 seconds plus whatever's added on the back of that. Welbeck maybe pushed in the back by Konate. Jones gets the ball at his feet and lays it out to the Liverpool left for Robertson. Slid down the line for Diaz. Out of play for a Brighton throw. Liverpool leading 3-2 right in the last knockings. But they haven't quite got the job done yet. Brighton will reckon that they might be able to launch one final attack to avoid yet another League Cup fourth round exit. Jones has to steer the ball back for Jarosz. Just got to make sure here. His first touch took him wide. His second is assured and gets it over the halfway line. The 5 minutes are up. It's now the discretion of how much more time is going to be added. Konate laying it back for Jarosz. Jarosz makes sure his is the last touch of the night. Liverpool hanging on for a little bit at the end in a game that they deserve to win. An excellent second half performance. 2 for Gakpo, 1 for Diaz. Goals from Adingra and Lamptey in the last 10 minutes. Consolation for Brighton. Liverpool, the holders, are through. They've beaten Brighton and Hove Albion by 3-2.
So Liverpool go through. Brighton made a game of it, Troy Deeney, but Cody Gakpo, start of the second half, cuts in from the left, hits a beauty. Second goal that he scored not long after, doesn't even bother cutting in. He just fires the ball goalwards. I thought you said he was great first half, but those 2 goals topped it off. Brilliant.
Yeah, he got his just reward, just for being not only brave but just committed to. Yes, he missed a few chances, and yes, he didn't hit the target, but the next one, as a striker, you're going to miss more than you're going to score, but he didn't care again. And when he scored, I don't know if you saw the celebration, mate, just stood there.
Oh yeah,
Balotelli-esque. Look, yeah. I'm the man, this is what I do. And I really enjoyed his performance today, and the way he came off, still celebrating with his team. Great performance from him, looking ahead to the weekend.
Yeah, indeed, I'll be there for that one on Saturday. Troy, really enjoyed your commentary tonight. Thanks very much.
What's up, man?
Brighton 2, Liverpool 3. So Liverpool are through.